Hey y'all. Happy Sunday. Hello, Lizzie. Hey, Keita. You at work? What time is it? No, you should be at home. Hold on, y'all. Let me share my live. And I'm going to try to go on my other page. Lord, I got to make sure I'm sharing my live. Happy Sunday. Give me 1 second. I got to share my live, y'all. When y'all come on, share the live for me if y'all don't mind. And let me know if y'all can't hear me. Hey, Vivi. I'm trying not to talk too loud, but if I'm talking too low, let me know. Ooh, I wonder if Aaron want to come on tonight and talk to us. Hey, y'all. Pretty AJ said, you always have the prettiest glasses. Girl, I have so many glasses. It is ridiculous. Hey, Vivi, how are you? Lucy Pearl, hey, girl. Oh, friend, you was off today, huh? We could have went and got us some crawfish. Damn, I missed that opportunity. You didn't tell me that yesterday, that you was off today. Or you tried to deliberately keep that from me. I'm doing good, girl. I'm trying to get over my cold. I still have a little congestion. Oh, you off tomorrow too? Hey, everybody, come on in. Oh, there's a lot of y'all in here tonight. There's 196 people in the chat, 200 people in the chat. Okay, so let me get started. My name is KEASHA Dixon. I am a nurse, a registered nurse by trade, y'all. And I come on almost every day, every other day for sure, to talk about GLP-1 medications and my weight loss journey. I am down I'm down 74 pounds, and I have been on GLP-1 medications for almost 2 years now. I started my journey September 16th, 2022, and I started on MOUNJARO 2.5 milligrams, and I am now maintaining my weight on Tirzepatide compound and ZEPBOUND. Okay, so I do ZEPBOUND 10, and I alternate that with compound Tirzepatide 7.5. I do every other month. If anybody new is in the chat, please click on my picture and hit follow. Make sure y'all are following me. And if you are interested in your health journey and you are battling obesity and you need some medical assistance, you want to be monitored by a medical professional, I am partnered with Amble Health. If you click on my picture, my profile will come up, and my website is the first clickable link in my website. That is Amble Health. We can get your medicines to you within 7 to 10 business days. There's no physician fee, there's no subscription, and there is no shipping. We pay for all the overages. Dee Dee, thank you for the follow. Hey, Miss Patricia, how are you? Thank you, Vivi, for telling everybody to tap the screen. Can you adopt my family? The girl suffers from lack of oxygen and white phosphorus. Miss Alamayad, can you please DM me, friend? If you DM me and you send me a link, I'll try to help you out, friend. Hey, Andrew, how are you? Y'all come on in. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers. Nikita, Wendell was off today. He's at work. He come home Tuesday, so tomorrow me and Kiwi want to get the house ready for when he come home So I might want to get out and about for a little bit tomorrow. Let me know if you want to come with me. Yes, happy Father's Day to all the fathers. Soon as the chat pop, it dropped. Y'all come on in. Yesterday was my shot day. I took 10 of branded ZEPBOUND. I took the last injection in that box. And y'all know I just, hey V. V, do you be wanting me to text you? The reason why I don't text you is because you're not obligated to come on, friend. But I appreciate it when you do. I took my injection yesterday. 10 of branded ZEPBOUND. And last night at work, I had just some mild nausea. I don't know what it is about this box of ZEPBOUND that I have this time, but this box just give me a little bit of GI discomfort. But when I was on my compound, I never had a problem. The only problem that I did have, it just had too much appetite suppression. But like as far as gastric upset, I never had a problem. So I do see why people say once they go to compound, they really don't be wanting to go back to brand. I get it. Hey, honey. Happy Father's Day. I know I done told you a million times. My husband working on Father's Day. But it's all good. We got you when you come home. Hey, Carrie. How are you? How are you, Carrie? Y'all, thank you for sharing the live. Everybody that shared the live. Hi, Miss Polly. How are you? Bibi said, I did a live last week and people keep telling me someone was behind me. What, girl? What you mean? Yeah, honey, we gonna take care of you when you get here. I promise that. Now, where did my gym go? Because I wanted to pin her comment. Yep, oh, they were spamming you. That's pretty scary. That's a scary spam. I wouldn't want nobody telling me nothing like that, especially when I'm in my office and I like to sit with my windows open. Girl, that would freak me out if they tell me somebody is sitting behind me, especially when they get dark, because it's about to get dark out here in Texas. Oh, you was in your car. Jesus, that's even worse. Miss Mom said, no, I would shut the live down. I'm telling you, and start praying hard. That is so scary. How y'all doing today? How are y'all doing on y'all's journey? So tonight we're just going to talk about, we're not going to do too much education. I just want to really talk about personal experiences tonight, just so that we can kind of bounce our experiences off of one another, so that we can pick up the things that we can use that would help along our own journeys. So I'm not going to take y'all to school tonight. It's just going to be a little relaxed night. It's Sunday. We're going to rest on that. But if y'all have an educational question, don't be afraid to ask. If there's anybody new and you guys are starting your journey, don't be afraid to share. This is a very safe space. We have a lot of vets, a lot of people who have been on their journeys for a very long time. They're very experienced. They're very knowledgeable. They got a lot of tips and tricks that you can use. So no question is a simple question. Anything that you are confused about matters, because the whole journey collectively is what gets you to your therapeutic space, meaning your diet, how you move your body, the way you take your MEDs, your doctor's appointments, even your mental health. All of that plays a part. And that's what we are talking about. Oh, there go Carrie. And so that's what we're gonna talk about. We're gonna focus on personal experiences. So just getting back to my personal experience, I took my injection yesterday around 5:30. What did I eat at work last night? Oh, y'all. I had a piece of a church's chicken thigh. It was fried. And then I was sipping on tea all night, trying to get my voice ready because I'm off for a few days, so I want to go live a lot. So I was trying to get my voice ready. And today I have maximum appetite suppression. I have not eaten anything today. And I'm just being honest. I haven't eaten anything. I don't have an appetite. But I did take some pork chops out, and I am going to grill me a pork chop, and I will eat it with bread when I get off live, whatever time that be, because we might be on here for a minute. But I'm just saying I'm not hungry, but I do have some, I have a hot toddy. Do y'all do that when y'all sick? Do hot toddies. I put vitamin C in mine. What is it called? What's the vitamin C packets called, y'all? Somebody help me. I really don't have my brain on today. Thank you, Miss Moni. I have a packet of Emergency, the raspberry flavor. I have honey in it. I crushed up ibuprofen in it, and I put some lemons with it. Now, if I wasn't on live and before I go to bed, I'm gonna add some whiskey to it because you know the whiskey component, it just helps you rest. It just helps you sleep, and it also turns my brain off because I'm a thinker. Like I think a lot. I be needing something to turn my brain off because you know that even when you're sick and you're in the bed, if your brain is still going, it's like you're still not resting, right? So I be needing something to help me shut it down, and usually JD helps me. So that's the tea. I make the tea. My husband makes it the best. He do other stuff, but he makes it the best. So mine don't taste like his, but I mean, I'm working with it. And then I also heated up some honey right before I came on, squeezed a little lemon in it to coat my throat. So that's what kind of tea, Nurse Tony. Carrie says, part 2, then put the pins in a pouch and place it in the freezer. Do you think that's questionable? Wait, hold on, girl. Because you said, you finna take us. Okay, y'all listen to what Carrie says. She says, a friend is going to a local compound pharmacy. They're having her fill her pens all at once, then put the pens in a pouch and place it in a freezer. Do you think that is questionable? 100%. You cannot freeze your medicine. What? Y'all gotta vet y'all compound pharmacies. Oh, Lord. I've never heard. Friend, in my 22 years of nursing, I have never seen anyone freeze medicine. I have never seen that. Now, I do know with your compounded medications, it's supposed to be in a dark place, and it helps with the efficacy of your medicine, meaning it keeps the potency. If you leave it out of the refrigerator, because you can leave it out of the refrigerator. It's good for 28 days out of the refrigerator. But if you have a vial, your vial is gonna be dark, and then if it is pre-filled syringes, it'll come in a dark pouch. I used to have my daughter's pouch, but I don't know what I did with that pouch, and I wanted to keep that pouch specifically for educational purposes. But when you get your syringes, if they come pre-filled, they should come in a pouch like this, and you should not be able to see through it. That way it's protecting the efficacy of the medicine. But no, friend, they should not be doing that. Sue, are you having heart palpitations secondary to some other type of comorbidity? Because your GLP-1 medications do not cause heart palpitations. Now, I can say, friend, if you are dehydrated, you will get you will get heart palpitations. That's one of a sign of dehydration, but it's on the critical side, because once you start having heart palpitations, that means your dehydration is becoming pretty severe to the point where it is causing you to have heart arrhythmias. A palpitation is a type of arrhythmia, which is an off beat. You may have your heart may beat sooner It may have a delayed beat, which is not good, friend. So if you are feeling heart palpitations too, hydrate yourself, friend, and that should help you. Vivi says she took her jab on Wednesday. She said she felt strong suppression Friday night and Saturday night. And then Relita says she just took her first dose. When you took it, friend? When you took your first dose, Relita? And how do you feel? I'm so happy for you. I am so happy for you. And are you doing compound or are you doing brand? Going to try for more water. Yes, friend. And you know what else you can also do, friend? If you are having, if you're dehydrated, this is another bottle that I saved to show y'all. This is something that is really good. It's a rapid hydration drink. It's called Gatorade. Y'all see? Y'all, I'm live on Facebook and I am live on TikTok. So if you are dehydrated, this is something really safe. My friend is saying liquid IV as well. But yes, super hydrate yourself. Relita says she took hers today at 7 a.m. She says, I'm taking the brand ZEPBOUND. I just feel bloated. So friend, one of the things that you can use for bloating that we talk about a lot is the Blooms. The Blooms is a good brand for bloating, and KEASHA is a good brand for bloating. Both of them are supposed to help you. I'm not on YouTube, Carrie. I'm not on YouTube tonight, friend. It's just, did I say YouTube? I meant Facebook and TikTok. I'm sorry, baby. I'm not live on YouTube tonight. The KEASHA greens are supposed to help with bloating, friend. It helps with energy, digestion, immunity. And look, boo, this one really helps. This one really helps. And it had, not to say Bloom don't, because I love Blooms, but a lot of people will pull for KEASHA over Blooms because Bloom has that grassy aftertaste. Now, I happen to like stuff like that. I love grainy bread, nutty breads and muffins and stuff like that. And I like wheatgrass shots. I'm weird like that, but I like stuff like that. So the Bloom is absolutely delicious. Mango is my absolute favorite. I also have pineapple. That one is really good. But if you get into the KEASHA, friend, you will see that they have watermelon, which is really good. Watermelon is my favorite. They have candy. This one is called Carnival Candy. It's really good. It tastes like cotton candy. That's the one I have tonight. This is what it looked like, boo. I keep a glass of this. It looks green, but friend, it don't taste like how it look. My friend hate the way it looks. She can't get past the look of it. And my friend bought me a Tropical Splash. Nikita bought me this one. Tropical Splash. There's green apple, friend. It tastes just like a Granny Smith apple. Literally, if you close your eyes. Oh, God. I'm about to knock myself out. If you close your eyes, it tastes just like a Granny Smith apple. And then I also have the strawberry. It's called Strawberry Swirl. To me, it tastes like strawberry yogurt or sorbet. That's how it tastes. Zanita says she got hers on yesterday. Zanita, what flavor did you get? Vivi, you're going to love the watermelon. It's so good. It is so good, friend. So, friend, if you are suffering with bloating, that will help you a lot. When I tell you my stomach be touching my back. And for some reason, hey, friend, I saw you call me, Kima, and charge it to my head, not my heart, friend. I meant to call you before I got on live just to make sure you were okay. You okay, friend? Because, honey, if I need to come down, I'll step down with my friend. Trust me. You okay? But yes, that one is really good for bloating. Another thing, friend, if you have bloating going on, when you start your journey, you have to, okay, Kima confirmed that she was good. When you start your journey, friend, you have to keep in mind that these medications are, you have to keep in mind that these medications are going to slow down your gastric emptying. So you have to make sure you have really, really good gut health. So husband, this is to my husband, y'all. I can put him up there. I just can't put the link. TikTok had shut my live off the other day because I had the links for Kiala up, but I was talking about Amble. And you can't do that. You can't have links up and talk about other stuff. So I can show it. I just cannot put the link up. And for anybody that is new in the chat, if you are interested in starting your journey with GLP-1 medications and you are having problems getting your meds through your insurance company, you're having problems with prior authorizations, Amble Health is the telehealth company that I am partnered with that gets your meds to you in the most cost-effective way, where you are not paying for shipping, subscriptions, or physician's fees. You only ever pay for your medicines. If you are having issues with your insurance companies and prior authorizations. If you want to start your journey on semaglutide, it only has one hormone component, that's GLP-1. The price point for that is $199 to $219 per month. No shipping, no subscription, no physician fees. All of that, your price point includes all of that, okay? And then if you want to start your journey on Tirzepatide, the price point is $299 to $379, and it has two hormone components. That's why it's more expensive. And then also you have to decide where you want to where you want to start based upon what's going on with you. If you are trying to take care of your obesity disease, you have a lot of pounds to lose, I would advise you to start with Tirzepatide because you have two hormones working for you, GLP-1 and GIP. I don't want anyone who is unaware, because I know a lot of my followers are aware. But for those of you who are unaware about what these meds are, they are natural hormones that your body already produce. Okay, these are not insulins. These are not designed to drop your blood sugars. They do not drop your blood sugars. They delay gastric emptying so that you can feel full fast and you can stay full for a long period of time. That's all they do. So if you have a drop in your blood sugar, it's you, friend. It's because you're not eating enough. You're not eating enough carbs. And I always like to direct my following to MyFitnessPal, because MyFitnessPal can track your calories, your carbs, your fats, your proteins for you. If you cannot do it, there's so many different tools that you can use that can help you. Hey, Miko, I see you, friend. I see you, my love. So if you want to start your journey, all you have to do is click the links in my bio. The links are always in there, y'all. I also have frequently asked questions, because in my lives, a lot of people ask the same questions over and over. And I don't mind, because, there's someone new. There are a lot of people new in my lives every single day. That's why to my vets, it may seem like some of this stuff is repetitive. You guys may feel like you are answering the same questions over and over, but just do it from a loving place, because people really need to know, and we want to make sure they're getting it from people who are versed on it, right? We're not just telling them anything. We're telling them from experience. We're telling them because we have studied this. We're telling them from clinical studies. We're telling them from evidence-based practice. We're not just talking off we're not just talking from what we heard. This is what we do. Okay, so just make sure that when you come into my lives, that your mindset is gentle, and that your mindset is that we are in here to help someone else get to where we are. That's it. Okay? Ain't nobody better than nobody in here. Nobody's journey is better than anybody else's. It's hard for all of us. Okay, just because I'm 74 pounds down and my other friend just started and she just 5 pounds down, it's okay. She gonna get there. Y'all gonna get there. So we're not comparing our journeys against one another. We're just sharing our journeys with one another so that we can take little nuggets, incorporate it in our own lane so that we all can be successful. That's what it's all about. We're in here to inspire each other, to encourage each other, and to hold each other's hands, to fix each other's crowns, and all of that. That's what we are here for. Okay, y'all? I don't know. I felt like I needed to say that. All right. So, you're welcome, friend. So, Crocs Gal. Friend, let me just say first of all, oh Lord, let me not laugh, because every time I see your name, I think about your content, and girl, I crack up. First of all, let me pin my friend, y'all. If y'all are not following Crocs Gal, y'all, her content, if you are having a bad day, log on to her page. She says, she helped me. I thought I did my first one wrong, so I asked her and she answered my message. I do. I answer all of y'all messages. It may take me some time, but I do. And I'm actually thinking about getting somebody to help me with my DMs. Oh, y'all, we had a drawing. We had a drawing. Somebody has won a Stanley Cup from my page as well. But I didn't even come on here to talk about that tonight. I'm going to talk about that tomorrow. We had a drawing and somebody has won a Stanley Cup. So I'm going to talk about that on my tomorrow's live. But anyway, back to Crocs Gal. Friend, thank you so much. You don't know how many times, friend, I've been on your page because I've been going through it lately. My last 2 weeks have been HE double hockey sticks. Like, so I'm just so emotionally tapped. And friend, your page alone has lifted me. Friend, thank you. So I appreciate you. I appreciate you for that. Let's see. Hey, Bree. Bree says, hey, y'all. Relita says, yes, thank you. I need all the help I could get. Me too, friend. Me too. Me too. Carrie Stewart is one of my gems. She says, I appreciate you always answering my questions too. No worries. That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here for. Hey, Andrew. Let me pin a couple of people for all of my newbies in the chat. I'm gonna pin a couple of people that I need you guys to follow, because I want to make sure you guys are staying connected to people who got your back and who's gonna make sure they keep you guys on track and who are also available to answer questions for you all, encourage, inspire, and lift y'all up, and adjust y'all's crowns as well. And y'all just give me a little bit of grace too, with my speed. I'm not my high energetic, jovial self, but I feel good. I feel good. So the Amble link, thank you, Vaughn, for pinning that for me. The Amble link, if you click on my picture up here, my profile picture will come up and it is the first clickable link into my website. So let me just make sure I don't have any other questions. And I'm going to speak on Amble. Crocs Gal says, that's the way I express myself. I'm so glad it helps. Friend, I'm telling you, it helps. Miss Debbie Dew says, praying for you, Keisha. Life is not easy. You deserve the best. Thank you, friend. And so do you. Okay, so Despa. Hey, baby. How are you? How are you, friend? Despa says, help. So you have 74 people in this room that is here to help. Tell me what you need help with, friend. Tell me what you need help with. How do I put my Amble on hold? Marcy, you don't have to put your Amble on hold because they're not going to charge you until you go for your follow-up. You have to go in every single month, friend. Now, if they sent you all of your medicine at one time, if they sent you 3 months at a time, they're going to charge you every single month until you're paid up. Now, if you come out of the live and DM me, there's a link that I can send to you so that you can talk to somebody if you need it to be put on hold. Now, I don't know if they can do it, but I can direct you to the person that can help you with that if they do. So jump out of the live, baby. DM me that same thing what you said, and there's a link that I can send you so that you can talk to somebody about that. If they sent you 3 months at a time and you need the payments to be put on hold. I don't know if they can do it. Okay, so look. Beef Flow Z Girl said, I was able to pause mine. Okay, so if you're month to month, they're not going to charge you, friend, until you go for your follow-up. So when you're ready for your follow-up and you're ready to start again, that's when they're going to charge you. So you good. You good, friends. Okay, so for anybody who is considering coming on with Amble, you guys are wanting to use Amble Health and get a clinician to help you along your journey. Once you go into the patient portal and you fill out your questionnaire, it's just a questionnaire about your health journey, and you put in all of your history and your meds and stuff like that. A clinician is going to reach out to you within, I would say, 24 to 72 hours. Once you talk with them and you guys decide on a healthcare plan, ask them if they can put B6 or B12 in your vial if that's what you desire to do. Some pharmacies will automatically put that in there, the B6 or the B12, if that's how they formulate their compound, if you don't have an allergy. I've had some people inbox me and say, my compound came with vitamin B6 or B12, and I didn't discuss that with the clinician. Well, you don't have to discuss that with the clinician because the pharmacist will decide whether or not they want to put B6 or B12, because a lot of times on GLP MEDs, there's some fatigue that comes with these meds. There's also some uncomfortable side effects, and the pharmacist will add it to your vial to help offset some of that. Okay? Marcy says, I have 5 boxes of ZEPBOUND. Friend, you go. Oh, yeah, you need to go on pause. Yeah, because that's what I do, friend. I go every other month, I do branded. So I've been stockpiling my boxes when I can get them too, just so that I don't have to pay for Amble every single month. It's just cost effective for me that way as well. So I get it. One Jack says, no one ever called me. I just got an email saying it was being sent to pharmacy on June 6th. That's what they do. They're not going to call you, friend. It's virtual. It's telehealth. It's a virtual, with Amble, it's all virtual, friend. Nobody's going to call you. I've dealt with 2 other telehealths, and I never got calls from them. And then one, I did. I had a virtual face-to-face. But not all telehealth companies will call, friend. Ours is virtual. You got it? So Tarsha Jackson is asking, how much is it? Tarsha, so it depends on which one you want to use, friend. If you want to go with semaglutide is the one that only has the one hormone, GLP-1. The doses are 0.25 to 1 milligram. Those are $199 per month. Those are the initial doses, the starter doses. And then 1.7 to 2.4 is $219 a month. Now, if you feel like you have a lot of pounds to lose, you have a long way to go, I would recommend that you do Tirzepatide, because Tirzepatide is dual acting. It has two hormones, GLP-1 and GIP. Is a little bit more expensive. 2.5 and 5 milligrams are $299 a month. And then the higher doses, 7.5 to 15 milligrams, are $379 a month. But you don't ever pay for a physician fee. You don't have to subscribe to anything, so there's no subscription fee. And then there's no shipping. Okay. So you only will ever pay for your medicines. And then if you click on my picture, my profile will come up in my website. The first clickable link into my website has frequently asked questions. The price list is there again for you. And you can create a patient portal and look through the patient portal. And when you're ready for your visit, that's when they will charge you, friend. They will ask you for your ID because they want to make sure that it is you. Telehealth companies, especially Amble, will ask you for a photograph. It's something that clinicians are having to do to cover their licensure, because people are starting to be sneaky with telehealth. And then they will ask you to put a card on file. If you have a FSA or a HSA card, you can use that, friend. I know some people say their HSA or FSA don't work, but mine did. Hold on, y'all. Let me see if my husband is trying to. Oh no, that's me. Babe, if you're still in here, that voicemail, audio mail that I sent you, I didn't mean to. But one thing that I can say, friend, Amble Health is one of the most compatible telehealth companies out there right now. It is new. It's a new company. And it is very popular for the fact that it is competitive, the fact that it is convenient, that it's all virtual. Everything is done online. They email you conversations if you want. If you want to talk with someone, they have what do you call it? The people that virtual assistants that can answer questions for you. If you do have a question, and you put your question in that virtual assistant thing, wait for them to respond to you. Because say, for instance, if you put it in on today and they haven't responded by in the morning, and you put it in again, then you put yourself at the back of the line. So just wait for them to respond. They have so many new customers right now that it takes a minute for them to get to you. And I don't mean like days. I just mean like, just give it about 24 hours for somebody to get back with you. Some people be expecting for the virtual assistant to like message them right back. And sometimes they do. It just depends on what's going on, what time of the day you send your question and all of that. Okay? But just put your question in once and wait for someone to get back to you. It's basically what I'm saying. Just don't spam it, because it'll keep putting you at the back of the line, and then it'll look like nobody is ever wanting to talk to you. I've had a few people that I had to let them know about that. Frankie said, you sound like you sick. I had an upper respiratory infection, friend. Y'all know I work in the emergency room, and I charge a clinical observation unit. You might not know that, Frankie. I work under the umbrella of emergency room medicine. I work at the #1 trauma center here in Houston. And so our ER stays full, friend. And I worked when I came from Atlanta. My second shift was in the ER. And friend, I've been sick ever since. But I might sound like I'm sick, but I don't feel sick, friend. I don't feel sick at all. It's just my throat, because I talk a lot on my job. I'm a charge nurse on my job. I think that's why I still sound like this. But it don't hurt, friend. It just sounds crazy. Vivi says, I'm hearing good things about Amble. Girl, Amble is... I was about to say, I've had a lot of jobs in my lifetime. I have. I'm 47 years old. I have had a lot of jobs. I've not had a lot of nursing jobs, because when I start working at a company, I make it work. You know, I'm a team player. My first job, I worked at a cardiac hospital in Louisiana, because the heart is my first love. I thought I was going to be, well, anyway. The heart is my first love, so I worked at a cardiac hospital the first 6 years out of nursing school. And then I came to Houston, and I worked on a medical surgical unit that's like with diabetes patients, heart, all the medical illnesses that you can think of. I worked on that unit for 3 years. Then I went over to emergency room and clinical observation, and that's where I've been for 12 years. So, and then I used to travel. I was a travel nurse for some time. There's a lot of money in that for all the nursing students in the room. And now, although I love trauma, working with traumas that's like gunshot wounds, stabbing. Oh, can I even say that? Please don't restrict me, TikTok. But those things, motorcycle crashes, motor vehicle crashes, like any type of trauma that you can possibly think of. I've seen it all, y'all. I've seen it all. If nurses can write a book, especially emergency room nurses, y'all wouldn't believe. Y'all know how they have those shows that come on in this emergency room related. All of those stories, those be real stories. It be real stories. That stuff really be happening. The most traumatic things that they be showing, that stuff really happens. That stuff really happens. In emergency room, you literally walking past people who have foreign bodies sticking out of their necks, in their chest, in their head. Y'all, it's something. It is something. But anyway, I don't even know where I was going with that. But anyway, that's how I got sick, Frankie. I got sick because, it just comes with the territory of being in that emergency room. You just never know what anybody has in there at any given time. And the best thing that we can do is just wear our mask and just try to stay protected as much as we can. I keep immunity stuff. I take a lot of immunity stuff to help keep my immunity up and all of that. But I've probably been exposed to so many things. I probably will never catch anything. Other than a cold. And colds do me the worst. So anyway, and I have been resting, Vivi. I see you. I've been resting, friend. Relita says, I work at Wellstar in Atlanta, and I'm always congested. Girl, it's like the story of our lives. It's the story of our lives. But you know what? The thing that I feel like I am most blessed about is even though I be in that emergency room, I have never made anybody in my family sick. Keisha, I missed it. I missed it. Zanita says, Keisha, I just love your spirit. You go the extra mile and give us the knowledge that we need. Kudos to you. Thank you, friend. I try. Crocs gal. Girl, yes, I'm 47 years old, honey. Okay? I have a lot of wisdom. I have a lot of wisdom. Miss Sue says, our nurses are our angels. Listen, we go to bat for y'all. We really do. We really do. You really have to have a special type of compassion to take care of sick people, because when we take care of sick people, we're taking care of sick people at their most vulnerable state, and a lot of sick people be mean. But it's okay. We have tough skin. Nurses have tough skin. Hey, Naya. How are you, friend? My niece is a nurse and mother baby. Ooh, that's a fun job. Well, unless the babies are sick. That's why I never did. I never wanted to do mother baby or anything with babies, because my baby was a NICU baby. And man, that was not fun. And I gave them nurses hell. So I knew, I was like, that's going to be my karma. I was obsessed. Y'all know I only have one baby. It was hard for us to conceive because I had PCOS. Way back in the day, I had to take metformin and all of the things, Clomid, to have my little baby. And my whole pregnancy was high risk. I bled most of the pregnancy. I was on bed rest a lot. So when I had my little baby, I was obsessed. And not to mention, I was a nurse. So can y'all imagine the hell I gave? And not because I was trying to give hell. I was scared. And as a nurse, when you know stuff, it make it worse. It'd be different if I didn't know nothing about medicine. I didn't know why they was doing this and why they was doing that to her. But knowing what they doing and what they looking for, y'all, I was like, I will never work in mother baby. Because you got your patient, who is the child, and you got their parents. So you taking care of 3 people. Woodkirky says, I just got my 5th month of 15 milligrams of Amble. They are awesome, and Revive Pharmacy is fast. So Revive Pharmacy is here in Texas, in Houston. And for those of you who are just coming in, I see people hopping in and out. The Amble link, if you're wanting to start your weight loss journey, is in my bio. You just have to click on my picture and my profile will come up, and the website is the first clickable link in. Amble is very fast. Amble uses 503A pharmacies. A 503A pharmacy, a 503A compounded pharmacy, is a pharmacy that requires a prescription from your clinician. And they can only make a limited amount of medicine based off of that specific prescription with your name on it. So your meds do not come from a batch. It's made specifically for you. So that's why I personally like 503A pharmacies for that reason. Because I know when my prescription, hold on. Because I know that when my vial was made for me, when my vial came for me, that this didn't have anything to do with nobody else. Everything that is in this bottle represents my medical history, the medications that I'm taking at this time, and all of that. It don't have nothing to do with nobody else's script. So that's what I love about 503A pharmacies. And I love that Amble Health uses 503A pharmacies because it guarantees you that one pharmacist made your medicine specific to your script. And your medicine did not come from a batch. So that's just my personal. Now, will I use a 503B pharmacy if I had to? Yes, I would. I'm not saying that those are bad. I just prefer mine to be made by 503As. Okay? And it only took me 4 days from the time I ordered, from the time it was at my doorstep. And when I ordered from my mom, because I see somebody saying something about Louisiana. My mom lives in Louisiana, but Amble cannot ship into Louisiana, Mississippi, or New Mexico because of laws in those states. So I get my mama medicine. Okay, if you guys live in any of those states, y'all have a loved one that live out of the state that can send y'all stuff, y'all know it's not illegal. It's not illegal. You can ship medicine. Amble, compound pharmacies just cannot ship into y'all states. Okay? So my mom, my cousin, one of my colleagues from back home that are all in Louisiana, they medicine come through here. I'm just saying. I'm just being real. So if you sign up through Amble, you don't have to worry about shipping fees, subscription fees, and you don't have to worry about a physician fee. You only ever are going to pay for your medicine. And let me just talk about subscriptions. Whenever y'all hear me say you don't have to pay for a subscription, there are some telehealth companies that will ask you for a subscription fee because you can see a nutritionist, or they'll give you coaching. Do y'all know if y'all have insurance, y'all are already paying for that through y'all's insurance? All y'all have to do is call y'all insurance company and tell them that y'all want to meet with a nutritionist or a weight loss coach. Y'all already paying for it. So do not let telehealth companies charge you all for a subscription to something you're already paying for. Jessica says, my sugar spikes so high today, friend, all the way up to 262. Why, Jess? What were you eating? Did you eat something high in carbs? Why did it go up? Are you sick? Are you not feeling well? You know that if you're a diabetic, if your body is under stress, your blood sugars will spike as a inflammatory response. It will automatically be high. So people who are sick and who have diabetes, your blood sugars will be naturally high just because you're ill. So were you sick, friend? Miss Debbie Do says, I ordered glutathione. Have you known anyone that has used it? No, I have not had anyone that has used it. And so since you brought that up, let's talk about it. Now see, I have an Android. And I'm using my iPad to stream, and my other Android to stream on Facebook. This is when Siri would come in handy. But on Android, we have Bixby. So let's see, what is that? Okay. Hold on. I don't know not one person who has ever used that, Miss Debbie. Not one person. Okay. So I asked the question, what is glutathione? Okay. Glutathione is an antioxidant produced in the body through enzymatic reactions, okay, using amino acid cysteines, L-glutamic acid, and glycine. It helps to repair cells damaged by pollution. So why do we take that? What is the main use of it? Okay, the main use is tissue building and repair, making chemicals and proteins needed in the body and in the immune system function. So, hold on, where's my friend that asked me that? So, Miss Debbie Do, were you knowledgeable of that? I knew what you meant, friend. She said I spelled it wrong. I knew what you meant. I knew what you meant. So, do you mind sharing with us what is going on with you that you felt like you needed to order this, friend? Because from the ingredients, I'm actually liking this, and I may order it as well because I like that it says that it involves tissue building and repair, making chemicals and proteins needed in the body and in the immune system functions. So see, like how right now I have this immune system break and I am congested and all of that, and I go in and out of the ER. I feel like this would help me. So if you don't mind, Miss Debbie, what is going on with you that you can share with us that made you feel like you needed to take this? And this is her response. She says, yes, I did my research. My skin needs help. What's going on with your skin, friend, if you don't mind us asking? So I'm going to screenshot this, and I'm going to do some more education on it. I'm going to look at the clinical studies for it, and I'm going to look at the evidence-based material on it, and then I will do a video for us all. But she is also asking, is there anyone in the chat that is using that? I'm in New York, and they get my medicines to me in 5 days of my reorder. She's talking about Amble Health. Amble Health is the telehealth company that I partner with to help you all get y'all's compounded versions of GLP-1s. If you click on my picture, my profile will come up, and my website is the first clickable link into my website. And there's no shipping, no subscription, and there is no physician fees. Now, Miss Debbie says she uses it for crepey skin. So is this going to be your first time using it, Miss Debbie, or have you been using it and it's been therapeutic for you? I'm going to be looking for your answer. And Andrea Goodwin says, do you ever meet your Amble, your doctor at Amble? So you meet with them virtually, friend, but you don't do like any video calls. No, it's a convenient service, and not all telehealth. I mean, I don't know if you want to meet your clinician. I'm pretty sure they can set up something where you can. Sorry, y'all. But it's a virtual service, friend. It's meant to be convenient. They email you, you talk. There's a patient portal. You talk through your portal. Listen, when it comes to GLP-1 medications, compounded medications for GLP-1 and treating obesity, GLP-1s are hormones, friend. So it's not like it's not like they're treating cardiovascular, like you're not meeting, this is not a cardiologist where you got to go into the office to do it. Anything that is done telehealth that is virtual is safe for you to talk through a patient portal. So you don't have to, so I met mine virtually. It depends on what you mean by meet them. Yeah, you talk to them. But if you want if you want to meet them face to face and talk, that's not something that I had ever been interested in. I'm just one of those people. I'm so busy. I just want to click into my portal, request my meds, and I want my meds to be at my house in 3 to 4 days. And that's just what's been happening for me, and I like that. Amble Health is a convenient service. Most people are with Amble because of that reason, because you get your medicines quick Everything is virtual. It ain't no hassle. So, do you want to elaborate on that for me, Miss Andrea? So yes, you talk with them, friend. You do. Miss Tia says, y'all, I do not work for Amble, but I am a happy customer. Thank you for that. Thank you for that, friend. Donna Hanson 39 says, how long do the meds last in the refrigerator? Okay, so I've explained this a few different ways, Miss Donna. Hold on one second. When you receive your vial in the mail, on your vial, I tell y'all, it's 3 dates that you need to record in a journal, in your medical journal. There are apps that you can use that house your medical histories. It needs to be documented somewhere. On here, it will tell you your date that the medicine was made that needs to be recorded. It will tell you your lot number. Your lot number is the number, whereas it identifies your medicine. It's your medicine's ID number. And then there's a best use by date. Now, in the hospital, who asked me that question? Because I'd be liking to call y'all by name. Miss Donna. In the hospital, when we open up vials, when we pop the lid off of vials, we can only use these vials. They're only good for 28 days. And then if there's something left in the vial, there's a bin that we put them in. And pharmacy collects those. And then they use that medicine that's left over and they ship it or send it to places where people who cannot afford these meds can use them by the best use by date. Okay? So it depends on you. In the clinical field, this vial, I can only use it for 28 days. But at my house, I can use my vial into the best use by date. Does that make sense? So even though in the hospital, we can only use the vial for 28 days, somebody else that couldn't afford these is using it by the best use by date. So at my house, when I pop my cap, I'm using mine. Mine is good until the best use by date. And so you just decide what you want to do. Do you want to use your vial for 28 days and then after it, toss it, throw the medicine away, the rest of it away? Or do you want to use it by the best use by date? That's a personal choice. You choose that. Does that make sense? I just received mine last Wednesday, but I haven't started and I haven't been feeling good. So Ms. Donna, yes, wait until you're feeling better. Wait until you're feeling better, friend. Because you need to have you need to have a lot of strength. You need to be strong. You need to make sure you are able to eat a really good meal before. You need to make sure that you are really hydrated, because this medicine is going to delay your gastric emptying. It's going to decrease your appetite, which means you're going to have appetite suppression, which means you're also going to have thirst suppression. And it also has a fatigue component with it. A lot of us have a lot of fatigue those first couple of days. So you don't want to make yourself more fatigued than you already are. So I would wait until you're feeling your best. Okay, and if anybody is working while you're on these MEDs, I would also recommend you take it on a day that you're not working, where you can rest. If you get fatigued. Not everybody gets fatigued. Hold on, let me do the little puzzle, y'all. Oh my goodness, that's so pretty. Who sent that? Thank you. You guys, thank you for all the gifts. I see the gifts. Thank you guys for all the gifts. I appreciate that. That was so pretty, whatever that was that just came across the screen. Miss Glenda says, you're looking good. You look so good. Thank you, friend. It's been a while. It has been a while, Glenda. How are you? Hold on, y'all. I'm just going back because I want to make sure. Y'all know I got to read every one of y'all's comments. Miss Sue said, my best friend was working in the NICU. She was a NICU nurse for 22 years. She says, that girl is strong. She got to be, because I can't see no, I cannot emotionally take care of sick babies. That would bring me down. I would be crying right along with the mama. Someone else says, I live in the middle of nowhere and it took me 5 days to get my meds from Amble. I told y'all, it's very quick. It's very quick. Oh, that was cute, whatever that crown was on my head. Hey, Jess, I see you, friend. Charlotte Brand says, I laughed at one of your lives when you responded to Lady G. What you say, Charlotte? What, girl? I laughed at one of your lives when you responded to a lady. God made 3 people. What you mean? What you talking about, girl? You know I be saying some stuff. I just got my 5th month. Okay, I saw that one. I saw that one. And I didn't see anyone else say that they took glutathione. How do you say it? Glutathione. Does anybody else take this? Glutathione. Does anyone else take that? It helps tissue repair, building and repair, making chemicals and proteins needed in the body and in the immune system function. I need to do my clinical trials studies on that, and I need to do look at evidence-based material, and then ask a couple of clinicians about that. Andrew says, don't pay for a subscription or a membership fee for services you may not use. Boom. If you guys are looking for the link for Amble, click on my picture right here. My profile is going to come up, and my website. It is the first clickable link in, you guys. There's going to be frequently asked questions in there. There's going to be a price list in there. And if you are on the fence whether you want to take Semaglutide or Tirzepatide, I always recommend, if you are very sensitive to meds naturally, start with Semaglutide. And if you are a person who has a long way to go, you have you've been sitting in obesity for a long time like I was, and you had a lot of pounds to lose, I would start with Tirzepatide, because you have that dual acting GLP-1 and GIP that is going to help to work for you. Okay. Ms. Donna says, I just wish Amble would show where the dosages go on the syringes. So, okay. So, Ms. Donna, the person who shows you about your syringe and anything that has to do with the medicine, that's the pharmacist. Amble Health is the vessel. Amble Health is the doctor who gets your prescription, and then the compounded pharmacy, wherever your medicines come from, those are the people who will tell you about your medicine. Okay, so let's say Revive, for example. Oh, Lord. Is that paper not right here? Hold on. And I like to show you, I like to show this because Revive sends some great educational material. Lord, please let it be on this desk right here, and I don't have to go far. Okay. I told y'all God loved me. All right. So Revive will send you I mean, this is Revive Pharmacy. This is Revive. I can't account for every pharmacy that we use. I just know that this is what Revive does. Revive will send you a form, like a little pamphlet that tells you how to draw up your medicine, how to use your syringes, and then it'll also show you how to give it. So it just depends on which pharmacy you get, friend. And then also, friend, if you are following me on YouTube, I have educational videos up to show you how to draw up on your syringe. Just know that your compounded medications will come in a insulin syringe. And let me show you guys the difference between a syringe that you're going to give your medicine in unit doses as opposed to a syringe that you would give in milliliters. When you take GLP-1 medications, you are always means always, y'all. You are always going to give your medicine in unit doses. And your syringe is always going to be orange. Insulin syringes only come in orange. Y'all understand? Y'all got that? Please confirm in the chat that y'all got that. And I see y'all questions. I'm gonna get y'all questions, y'all. I'm gonna get y'all questions, I promise you. I'm gonna read every single comment on here. So your insulin syringes are always gonna be orange. So y'all confirm in the chat. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Now, this is what syringes look like when it comes in milliliters. Okay? This is not a unit dose. You see how it says 1 down here? 1 milliliter. Y'all see that? 1 milliliter. 1 milliliter. So you are never going to give your medicine in this syringe. Never means never. Y'all got that? Because this is medicine that is given in milliliters. Okay? Your syringes are always going to be orange. My sister said, that's my first time seeing that type of syringe. Yeah, friend. Yes, sister. When we give other medicines that are given in milliliters, we give it in these. But insulin and GLP-1 medications are always in orange syringes. And it will always come in unit doses. You see how it says this one is 100 units. Now there are some insulin syringe, y'all might not be able to see. There it is. Okay. You may get a syringe that have only 50 units. Okay. Now, if your compound tells you to give 125 units, if you have a syringe that only have 100 in it, it just means you need to give 100 in one and 25 in the other, friend. You see that 20? And then there's a line right here. That's 5. Every little line is 1. Okay? Y'all got it? So it seems difficult and it seems confusing because you're just not accustomed first to giving yourself injections, and then it just seems like a lot. But I promise y'all, it seemed like a lot because the needle is long. You know, it looks. I mean, this part is long, so it seems like you're giving yourself a lot. But friend, if you fill this up with water, and squirt it out on the table, it's so little. It is so little. It's so little. So when you get your vial, a lot of people are expecting for their vial to be full to the top. Your vial ain't going to be full, friend. It might have just a little bit in there because that little bit of fluid that's in that vial is concentrated. So when you are looking on your prescription box, which I don't have my box, but your box is going to tell you your concentration in milliliters. That's how much fluid. But your dose that you're going to give in units, you're going to be giving it in this syringe. How do you convert units to milligrams? Nia, girl, don't get me started. Don't get me started. And I will not ever teach that because people do too much. So I will never teach that, friend, because people do too much. People try to take their vials, friend, and they try to do what they want to do with their vials instead of doing what their doctor tell them to do, and instead of doing what their pharmacist tell them to do. So when y'all want to know what y'all conversions are, I always tell y'all, go ask y'all doctor, because that's not for me to tell you, friend. That's for your doctor to tell you. I'm not licensed to tell you that, boo. Okay? People have been doing too much. That's the reason why we have so many restrictions on TikTok. Because people was teaching that. They was teaching people the wrong things. It was just too much, friend. I would love for y'all to know. But unfortunately, oh, friend, I'm so glad you said that. Unfortunately, people be doing too much. I would love for y'all to have that information. But okay, so let me go back. So do y'all understand about the needles? When you get your vial in the mail and you look at your prescription, if you are reading milliliters, they're telling you what your concentration is. When it starts telling you how much to give in units, they're telling you what your dose is. So do not get confused if your dose says to give 125 and your needle is only at 125. And your needle only holds 100. That just means you got to give 2 injections, one that has 100 and one that has 25. And look, friend, that's the reason why Amble sends y'all so many needles. Because some of us do have to give 2 injections based upon your concentration. So it's not to trick you. It's not to trick you. But if you get confused, DM me, ask me, go into your patient portal, ask your clinician, and they will get you the information that you need, friend. Okay? Y'all got it? So you will only ever receive needles with the orange that are orange and that are dosed in units. Y'all got it? And it's gonna come in a pack like this. Y'all should have a lot. Okay. Wintil says, I didn't know I could ask for a weight loss coach through insurance. Yes, friend. You just have to call your insurance company and ask them if you have a weight loss program. Most insurance companies have weight loss programs, especially now, because most people are wanting to be on GLP-1 medication and it's a requirement. And so I'm going to read y'all something. We got something in the mail from our insurance company, my insurance company. Let me tell y'all how strict they're getting. But let me make sure first I don't have any questions that I'm making y'all sit on. I received mine last Wednesday. Okay, I saw that. If there's anybody new in the chat, my name is KEASHA Dixon. I'm a registered nurse by trade, and I educate on GLP-1 medications. I coach people who are on their weight loss journeys. And I'm partnered with Amble Health. If you're having issues getting your GLP-1 medications through insurance, you can get it compounded. All you have to do is click on my picture on TikTok and my website will come up. It's the first clickable link in. And then also, if you're tuning in or you're watching behind the screen on Facebook, it's always in the description of my videos. The links are there. Okay? There's no physician fee, no subscription, and there's no shipping. We ship free to you all. Is it okay to use compound after the discard by date? I would not advise you to use your vials after your best use by date. I throw my vials away. Okay? How do I decide which one of these is best for me? I want to start while I'm on summer break. So K-Maddox 1920. This is how you decide, friend. If you are very sensitive to medicine and you have never taken these meds before, know that it will delay your gastric emptying, which means it's going to cause you to feel full fast and it's going to make you feel full for a long time. It can cause some nausea, friend, constipation, diarrhea for some others. It can cause you to have heartburn, things like that, but very mildly. Nothing that you can't treat over the counter. Now, over the counter. So if you're sensitive to medicine, I would say start with semaglutide, because then you can see how your body is going to respond. And because semaglutide only has one hormone component, which is GLP-1. Now, if you have a lot of weight to lose, friend, I would recommend you start with Tirzepatide because it has GLP-1 and it also has GIP. It's dual acting and it helps you meet your goals. It just helps you meet your goals a little bit faster. With semaglutide, you're going to lose a little bit slower, friend. So that's what I would suggest. And the link is up here in my bio, friend. Okay? All right. Thank you, Nikita, for reminding everybody to throw your used syringes away. Please do not you can recap them, but make sure you throw them away. Kelly says that she is currently on. Oh, wait. Let me read your first question because I see it. She says, I want to try to conceive and I want to ask my doctor about Clomid. Oh, can you tell me your thoughts? I'm currently on semaglutide. So Kelly, Clomid is amazing. It's amazing. I took 1 dose and conceived. 1 dose. And you can conceive with twins. You know that, friend. If you don't, I'm telling you. And I wanted to have twins so bad because my husband is a twin. And I wanted to have twin boys. And I wanted to name one Dakota, and I wanted to name the other one Jacoby. But of course, we had a girl, and her name is Winter. But that's so sweet. I think that you should find you a fertility specialist, and I think you should try and ask him to put you on Clomid. I took 1 round, friend, and it was great. It was great. Mama of many, it's Lynette. She says, I'm on Ozempic and I have been for 6 months. She says she's down 52 pounds. Wow. Thank you for the follow, by the way, friend. That's amazing. That is amazing. Look at my husband's response. Oh, y'all see my husband? Hold on. Babe, you didn't know that? You did know that. I had them boys' name written down in my journal. I had them boys written down. I was going to name one Dakota, Dustin, and Jacoby, Justin. That was going to be my boys' names. But we end up having Winter because her dad's name is Wendell. And my sister's name is Summer. So she was named after both of them. And my husband's dad's name was Graylin. And we named my daughter Grayson. So Winter Grayson is her name. Okay, so we got that out. He said he didn't like those names. Well, you was all in love with your little wife back then. Not to say he not in love with me now, but honey, when I tell y'all I have my husband rapped, but he was more rap back then. He don't learn me now. I don't get my way like I used to. Those boys' names would have been Dakota and Jacoby. Go ahead now. Go ahead now. Oh my gosh. So I want to read to y'all what my insurance company is doing to us now. First of all, my colleague sent me his note, and he was like, his caption was, "Look at this shit." And I was like, oh Lord. And you can see a letter from our job. And he's taking the same meds like most everybody on my unit, of course, naturally. We all fine on my unit. We all pounds down. We all look good. My unit is super sexy. So he sent me this letter, and I want to read to y'all what it says. This is what my job is requiring now. And I want y'all to pay close attention because everybody insurance company is finna start cracking down. Everybody's insurance company is about to start cracking down. But they said, dear, and they said his name. This is his letter. I know my letter. I got a stack of mail. I know my letter is in there, and I want to go find mine because we're on the same thing. Mama of many, I've lost 74 pounds, friend. 74 pounds. And it took me 11 months to do it. On Tirzepatide, on MOUNJARO. They said, we are reaching out with an important update regarding your health plan. We have the same health plan. It says, GLP-1 prescription drugs, which may include popular brands such as WEGOVY, Saxenda, ZEPBOUND, are a class of medication that can help patients manage moderate to severe obesity. Okay, we know. That's why we take it. This current patent status and market demand for the weight loss GLP-1 medications have limited the drug availability and dramatically increased the cost of health plans throughout the country. Pay attention and listen. We have Aetna, and our PBM is CVS Caremark. I hope I'm saying that right. We have Aetna insurance. That's who we pay into. And our PBM is CVS Caremark. Currently, there are no cost generic GLP-1 options on the market. For some of these reasons, many employers have chosen to remove GLP-1s for weight loss from their benefit plans. Okay? And they say our job, we recognize that these medications can play an important role in an employee's health care journey, and we remain committed to covering them. So right now they're covering them. They're still covering them. But to me, this letter is just a precursor to something else that's coming. To me, they're saying, okay, we know that these medicines are expensive. The availability is hard. People, there's a shortage. We covering them for now. That's what I hear. And they're also telling us there are no generics. Okay? So then they go on to say, so let me repeat that. They say, we recognize that these medications can play an important role in an employee's health care journey, and we remain committed to covering them. However, given the challenges currently associated with GLP-1 accessibility and the cost, we must do so in a way that is responsible and sustainable. Doing so will ensure individuals will have the greatest health need. Oh, no, it says, sorry guys. It says doing so will ensure individuals with the greatest health needs have access to these medications, coupled with the necessary lifestyle support program to ensure successful weight management long term. Okay? Since you have recently filed one of these medications under your medical plan, new criteria will apply to you for any prior authorization renewals on or after. Now, his prior authorization ends August 2024. Mine ends December 2024. So moving forward, this is what he is going to be required to do. This is the criteria for him. Now, I'm reading y'all his letter. Tomorrow, I'm gonna look through mine and find mine. Because I got a PA as well. Okay. So this is what he's going to have to do moving forward with Aetna and having CVS Caremark as our PBM. They said he must have a BMI 30 or above with a diagnosis significant comorbidity or BMI of 33 or above without a comorbidity. So he has to have BMI 30 and above with the comorbidity or 33 and above without. That's the first requirement. Then it says he must be actively participating in both our hospital's designated weight loss management programs, NOM, that's the name of it, and our monthly in-house program, Life in Balance. So we have two. We have one called NOM and we have one called Life in Balance. He has to be a part of both of them, which means I'm sure I'm going to have to be a part of both of them. And if he don't, he cannot get these meds covered. Then it says, reauthorization of GLP-1 weight loss medications will be limited to a 6-month supply. So sister, are you on here? Can you come up for a second? Kima, if you're on here, can y'all come up for a second? Let me see. Let me send Kima a guest. Y'all don't have to if y'all don't want to. Interpreting this the way I'm interpreting it.
Hey, friend.
Hey, Kima. Are you busy?
I'm okay.
Okay. Let me see. I think my sister is up here too. Let me see if she want to come on. Just for like 10 minutes.
Okay.
So they're saying that we have to be a part of both those programs, NOM and Life in Balance. And then it says reauthorization for these meds is only limited to a 6-month supply. So does that mean we will only be able to get 6 months in that year, or we would have to do a prior authorization every 6 months? Let me let Kima answer first.
Yeah. Based on how you're reading it, it sounds like we're only going to give you 6 months during that approved authorization, is what it sounds like to me. Almost like that quantity limit clause they're putting in some of the plans. But that's just my interpretation.
Okay. And sister, my sister does prior authorizations, y'all. Is this something that you have seen companies do with reauthorizations? Because our first PA was for a year, was for 12 months. Now they're saying that it's only limited to a 6-month supply, but it doesn't say at one time. It just says 6-month supply.
It's common. One of the medications that is common like that, I'm a case in point, I'm gonna just throw out there is protonics or anything on that list. What they're doing is basically because everybody's getting it short supply or whatever. So now that 6 months supply or PA being put is more so to stop and do a check to see if you actually need it. Like diabetics have to come back and get their A1C check every 3 months. It's about to start making doctors do a check to make sure you need it for maintenance, that I'm just not putting you on it and like you, for the ones that's doing it for WL, you're doing it for WL, you don't reach your goal, you don't got to your goal, get off of it, it's a short supply, let the other ones who are facing whatever needs it need it. So that's what's basically happening. My insurance was one of them that needed a rider. That's basically like the insurance term. A rider is basically another supplement or another program that's in place that says that is basically back in making sure you are, if you're doing it for WL, you are for health, you are on this fitness journey, and that program is going to help you. If you are diabetic, you are going to diabetic teaching or whatever, and that program is going to help you. If you have high blood pressure, you have these programs in place, and it's saying that, okay, I see that she's on this program or he's on this program. Well, they do need this medication. all right, we go approve this medication, and in 6 months we go revisit to see if you're doing what you're supposed to do. Because if you're not doing what you're supposed to do, those programs will drop you. You know what I'm saying? It's just another check and another option to go. And it's not because they don't want to pay. We don't know what the manufacturers over there are doing. So we got millions and millions of people that actually do need this for chronic illness, regardless of where there may be, and we need help. It seems like the bandwagon and the wave is everybody's focusing on the pounds being shed. No one is looking at the comorbidities that people are getting healed from and people are needing this medication from. No one cares. They're not caring about that, or I'm not gonna say they don't care. They're not seeing that because that's not what the media and the masses are talking about. So they're now doing basically what they do to people who you see this, like I said, that has GI issues. Your primary care doctor can probably give you Protonics or Omeprazole for 3 months, but after that you need to go get a scope. You need to start going to a GI doctor. Migraine medications, you need to start going to a neurologist for this. We just not letting them. So what they're about to do is put those riders in place and start pushing out that people that need this, you need to have an endocrinologist if that's your disease or that's your comorbidity. And if you're going for the WL, then you need to get on another Weight Watchers or something else need to help you along with this until it speeds up. So every 6 months, insurance are probably going to have an authorization in place, and then there's going to authorization criteria, which is the rider, what you was reading. And then after you have that authorization, then there's probably going to be a reauthorization criteria on top of that. And that's where I like to say, when it comes to the reauthorization, when doctors do a PA, I'd be like, they need to mention patient, a continuation in therapy, patient is responding, that needs to be set, because some of the reauthorization does say that we need to hear or see from the doctor that you are responding, you are doing this, and you need to continue. So it's not, it's a lot of insurances are now catching up, but my insurance already did that. Like once they covered 1 month, and then the next month it was like, bam, it's considered a maintenance medication. But for you to be a maintenance med, I have to sign up for all these programs. I'm like, I'm not going through that. And that's why I ended up on compound. So
okay, and I'm so glad you said that because there's more. I'm so glad you said that. And you guys, this is one of the reasons why um telehealth companies are becoming so important. Compounded pharmacies are becoming so important. There was a young lady that asked me the other day, what is going to happen when we can no longer get these medicines compounded? And I just cannot foresee that, because insurance companies are making it so much harder for us to get them. And not only that, people are waking up and they're understanding and they're learning that they need these medicines. Before, it was taboo. Everybody was talking down on it, but now people, education is getting out there. People are starting to understand that the clinical trials are real. People are resolving, are slowing down kidney disease. Pre-diabetics aren't going into diabetes. Diabetic patients are coming off of their diabetic medicines and are only maintaining, covering their medicine. I mean, their disease with just GLP. Fatty liver disease. All of the things, everything that we were telling them, they seeing it, and they're seeing it in their family members, and the doctors are starting to see it. Doctors are starting to prescribe it more, and things of that nature. So this is basically what this letter is saying. Basically saying that more and more patients are wanting this. The availability is starting to get scarce, and so now insurance companies are doing things now. So let me just go one more step further in this letter and what they said. They said they're saying now we only pay $24.99 copay for our GLP-1 medications. Oh shucks. Now it says copays for GLP-1 medications will now be $150 for every 30 days. So this luxury that we've been having on my job through my insurance company with my PBM, where I've only been paying $24 per box for me and my sister, when my PA is over and I have to redo it if it gets approved, my copay will then be $150.
Loophole. That's where your FHA card and your SHA, and that's when they come in.
Oh, I already know that. But
Yeah.
still, the fact remains, whether I'm using an FSA card or HSA, it's still coming out of my pocket. It's still not $25. It's ways to get it paid. But I'm saying that to say, you know, y'all, your options, you have to vet your options, because these insurance companies are getting clever. Were y'all in my live the other day? And that's why I was hoping that Aaron would come in here, because I wanted him to tell y'all what he's seeing as a clinician when it comes to insurance companies who are starting to cover these meds, but they're only covering like $25 to $50. So you're still paying these outrageous amounts, and people are still having to turn to compound pharmacies, which is one of the reasons why you guys have to start vetting which one you're going to use. Y'all don't have to use Amble. That's what I'm using. That's what my friends, family using. That's what I recommend my following to use, because I was a patient first and I know that it's cost effective and we're not paying all the overages, because it's the reality is it's going to get worse before it get better. And so you just have to make sure you have options and that you vet your options. Okay. So this is happening in real time for me. Everybody at my hospital in Texas, we have in Houston alone, I think we have 13 hospital systems of my hospital. And everybody that is at these hospital systems, all of the thousands of employees that are on GLP-1 medications, we are all gonna have to be paying, instead of $24.99 for our GLP-1s, it's gonna be $150 if we get approved, if we have all of these other stipulations that I talk to y'all about. Oh, Erin is in here.
Get your explanation of benefits. Or that's one of those calls where if you're not using a coupon and you are using your insurance and you're curious of the matter, late night when you don't have anything to do and you wanted to explain, I mean, just be dumb. Even if you do get it, just be dumb. Call your pharmacy people, call the pharmacy people on the background and get them to explain, tell them you're trying to figure out how the costs work. And they can tell you, well, your pharmacy paid this much and we paid this much, and they can explain to you why that's happening and tell you on the back end if it was a deductible change or anything of that case may matter. We have the power, and when I say we, PBM have the power to go in, and that's an option to y'all, and explain the claim if the claim don't make sense. And you can get an explanation of benefits on paper to break it down so you can have it in writing in front of you.
Okay. Thank you for that, sister. Okay, you guys. Aaron Sahale, this is my MP, you guys. Aaron, first of all, let me just say, in every single live, I always refer my following to you, you guys. This is the gentleman that got my prior authorization approved. This is who I use through my insurance. So well, let me just bring him on. But this is the gentleman who I talk about in every single live.
Oh, well,
Hi,
I
friend.
that, and I only have all of a few minutes as I stand in my very empty Maryland house as I get prepared to head to Houston tomorrow.
I can't wait for you to get here.
But you said something that I couldn't skip by as I saw your invite, is the insurance companies. I recently had a patient approved, or their PA kept coming back to me. It was weird. It was saying PA's not approved, PA's not approved, and the patient kept saying, but I'm trying to pick up the med and it's $1,000 for the lack of, I can't remember the exact. And I said, I don't know. And I finally, 3 phone calls later, and what the insurance company was saying was, oh, we approved it. No, absolutely. They don't need a PA. We're only paying $25. And guess what? There is no PA to be done at that point. If the insurance company puts even $1 towards it, it's now considered covered. They're getting very smart. They're also getting incredibly picky about what can be considered failed therapy. I had a patient the other day. I used the same verbiage that I've used over and over and over again. Well, now they've added Victoza or this or that. And I'm like, hell, I can't even keep up with some of these drug names. I'm like, I haven't prescribed that in so long. I don't know. Like, okay, so be it. That's what you want. And it's just they're getting clever. So they're getting clever to the point of, we know what they wanted to, what we were supposed to say for the longest time, and we were saying it and we were winning, or we weren't. At the end of the day, sometimes you're just at the mercy of whoever's reading your PA. But now they're like, okay, let's start throwing out more and more to our trial and error club of drugs before we'll even consider this. I had a patient with type 2 diabetes denied for Ozempic and MOUNJARO. I had to dial it back and go with some of the older school therapies. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, at what point is it like my medical decision making doesn't matter? And someone today, I saw a TikTok today that made really good sense, because everyone's like, well, how dare they dictate medicine? And the way he worded it was perfect. They're not telling us that you can't take the medication. They're just saying we're not paying for the medication. And I'm like, well, and long and short, you ain't wrong. And it's not right. But the question is, okay, what do we do? So I will be very honest, for those trying to go through insurance that don't want to go the compound route, is you're going to have to play the game. And you got to make sure your provider's willing to play that game. Meaning, are they willing to prescribe the drugs that the pharmacy, that the insurance company, is recommending for you to trial and, fail? Or honestly, as we talk about all the time, it's like, are you willing to wait that long, or are you willing to pay compound? And for some people, it's just not financially feasible. And we understand that. Like, we will try as providers and TikTok influencers alike, like KEASHA, they will do their best to bring you the best viable option when it can't be through insurance. But we also understand that that's not always financially feasible, that only that copay that you get from your insurance company is feasible. But with that said, sometimes even the best of us can't help. I mean, I will die trying, but I would always go in with this with your eyes wide open, like worst case scenario, best case scenario, and what scenario can I stop at? You say, absolutely not, I only need insurance, then make sure whoever you're going through is going to go fight tooth and nail for that PA for you. And we will ask you questions, like, pay attention to the questions that you're being asked if you're to do your PA. Have you tried and failed this? Do you have an adverse reaction to these drugs? I was doing that the other day with my patient. I was pulling and pulling and pulling. And as providers, we generally know what to ask, but sometimes we're so busy we don't ask the right questions. So we go in with the wrong information, not knowing how to properly do your PA. Because a prudent provider, nurse, anybody in healthcare will never lie. But how you answer questions and how you give us information really dictates your PA at the end of the day. Remember that phentermine and Quizmia, they go together, okay? Because it's got a stimulant in it. If you can't take stimulants because you have a rapid heartbeat, well, you can't now take phentermine or Quizmia. So those are 2 therapies that you're going to automatically fail. And you can't take metformin because you tried it once before when you were pre-diagnosed pre-diabetic or for weight loss, and it caused severe GI distress or this, that, and the other. Okay, so now we're up to 3 therapies failed. But you got to remember the certain things that we need to know to write your PA. So don't, just because you haven't taken a drug doesn't mean we just walk away, oh, well, no. Well, do you have reasons that you can't take said drug, even though you haven't taken it, that could qualify you as a failed therapy? So look at the side effect profiles. Just take a look at side effect profiles of certain drugs. I'm not telling you what to do with that information, but you should look at it.
Right.
Just so you're aware. Period. Even if you're going to try it, because that's the only option. And with all that said, that's about as all I can muster up right now because I'm absolutely
Thank you
exhausted
so
and
much.
tired from moving.
Thank you so much. That was great.
To piggyback off his
Thanks, Aaron.
Oh, my pleasure. Any quick questions that I can answer before I jump off, because I got to get my 3 animals who have given up on life tonight. They're ready for bed, and so am
Happy
I.
Father's Day, even though you have fur babies.
Yeah. There was one question, Aaron. Someone was asking about taking somebody said something about Vyvanse.
They can't take it on Vyvanse because it's a stimulant.
Yes. So are you asking, can we call it a contraindication because you're on Vyvanse?
Yes, that's what they were asking.
That's a hard stretch, because if you can take Vyvanse, which is a stimulant, then you in theory can take that drug. But your question is not wrong at the same time, because are you asking, would we give you 2 stimulants? I wouldn't as a provider. But your PA, how am I going to mark that as a failed therapy? It's a little bit harder to put. I would have to get really clever with the wording, and they may or may not take it. Because they might tell me, give you a non-stimulant medication for your ADHD. There's non-stimulant options.
We would actually argue the fact of she'll still do the Casima, and the reason why she would do the Casima because the topiramate is going to calm that down. And if she can't do it or you don't recommend it, we're going to tell you to switch it to Contrave.
Yeah.
That's how they will come back to say that, because Contrave is either or.
Okay. So I have another question. This is a question that I get almost in every live. Someone is saying that they've been on their GLPs for months and they're not seeing any pounds down. And so we talk about supplementing. Do you see that where you have to supplement with GLP-1s? And when you do supplement, what are you supplementing with? And is metformin on the higher? Is like what you would be like the first choice to supplement.
So I do have some patients that I supplement with metformin. And what I also see is there are a lot of people that are taking the meds and they're like, I'm not losing any pounds, and they give up and they walk away. They're like, I'm not doing it. And they don't give me enough time to,
Right.
find out what's
Fix it.
going on and
Right.
try it. But and I get it. They're paying a lot of money and they feel taken advantage of. And I can appreciate that 100%. And that's not the case. The case is, with these drugs, you have to remember that you may fail one of the GLP-1s. Semaglutide is very easy to fail. It can happen. But those people that have stuck it out with me that are like, all right, I'll spend the money, I'll get the Tirzepatide, 9 times out of 10, those people come back with, oh, I'm losing. So can you fail a GLP-1 therapy? Absolutely. Now, do I have people that have responded but have stalled and we can't get them past the hump? Absolutely. I then put them on metformin. That is currently my go-to.
Gotta be still.
Because I have to be careful with like things like Contrave, because of the stimulant, it's controlled. And I get a little weary personally as a provider in the tele world prescribing things like that. That is a potential option, but a lot of providers, what does he call himself? Ozempic doc or something like that. It's a physician I actually follow. I actually gained a lot of information and knowledge from him. Metformin is their go-to for stalled or failed members. in conjunction with the GLP-1 therapy.
Is it therapeutic? Is it a therapeutic combo?
I have
Do
heard
they?
people respond, the people that I've done it with have responded positively.
Okay.
Um, I will say that I think a lot of failed therapies, and I'll be very honest about it, are people over consuming calories. And what I mean by that is just because you can't eat 3 meals a day doesn't mean you can't overeat while on a GLP-1. If you go to, let's say, Cheesecake Factory, eat a normal meal, but consume 6,000 calories in that entire meal, guess what? You've overeaten for the day in one meal. And that is where a lot of people get hung up. They think, oh, well, I just ate one meal today. It's just that you've got to pay attention to what you're eating. That's why I preach low carb, high protein. I'm not telling you to do keto, and I'm not giving you a specific diet. I'm not saying the Mediterranean. No, I'm not saying any of that crap. I want you to eat what you like to eat, but keep in mind low carb, high protein.
Right.
And that is a great way to eat when you're dieting, period. I mean, all of us should be thinking low carb, high protein if we're battling obesity or any comorbidities or anything or if we could be prone to even comorbidities. I push low carb, high protein. Carbs are great. Everything in moderation is what I tell everyone. That's my number one thing. Everything in moderation. You can eat a donut, but eat one donut. Don't eat 6. Well, I normally eat 12 and I only ate 6. Okay, you still overconsumed today. Pay attention to little things. That coffee that you get from Starbucks, if you're not like me, I get a venti pike with half and half. That's it. But if you get a frappuccino or a cappuccino or a caramel macchiato, pay attention, guys. You're drinking your calories. Calories are calories at the end of the day. I don't care how you're getting the fat into your body. It's counting towards your calorie total for the day. And ultimately, one of the ways these drugs work is by calorie deficit, meaning you're not eating as many calories as you typically would or should in a day, but still maintaining a healthy amount. Or those that are not losing are putting themselves into starvation mode. So, like, erase everything I just said and what is starvation mode? It means you're not eating enough calories. So what is happening is the calories you are eating, your body said, oh crap, I'm not getting enough food. I've got to store this. I've got to hold on to everything they just gave me. I'm not going to burn any of it. And you're basically starving yourself. Again, why we push protein. And we remind you, if you can't eat, get a high protein milk shake, put it in your coffee, put it in your tea, whatever. I don't care how you consume it. If it's just get that protein in, because you still need to feed the body at the end of the day. So while it might be exciting to be like, I can only eat 3 bites and I'm done for the day, that's all fine and dandy. But is that enough for your body to really function? Because everything is your body's a machine. It's a well-oiled machine. And if you're not giving it enough oil to at least turn the wheels, it's going to do everything in its power to conserve the oil it does have so that the wheels keep turning, if that makes sense. Any other
Okay,
questions?
so what?
Because now I'm on a roll of talking. So now you got my mouth chattering. I'll go
Listen, don't get me started. I'll question you to death. I'll question you till tomorrow. So I've had a few people that come on and I talk about if you already had prior GI issues or if you have irritable bowel syndrome or if you had there's a young lady in the chat that said something about having a bowel obstruction in the past. What do you say to those patients who want to start GLP-1s?
So I can answer. Okay, so if you've had a bowel obstruction, you and me as a patient, for me, we're gonna watch your bowel movements very closely. Because what was the cause of your original bowel obstruction? but I wouldn't disqualify you for that.
Mm.
IBS patients, those are my favorite because I have IBS. And I will tell you right now, ever since starting GLP-1 therapy, my GI system has not been as normal as it is today. I would
Wow.
stay on GLP-1s strictly for the normalization of my personal GI health.
So is irritable bowel an anti-inflammatory autoimmune disease?
No.
No.
So you have to look. So that's a common misconception, right? Because when we use the term irritable bowel, we use it inclusively. Ulcerative colitis and that form of the disease, that is where you're looking at the autoimmune.
Mm-hmm.
Irritable bowel syndrome versus, oh my gosh, what's the proper terminology? I'm drawing a blank, y'all. Don't ask me to use my brain. Irritable bowel versus, oh my God, the term. There is a term that I am drawing a blank, and it's just a simple term, and as an RN we would know it, but I can't think of it. So IBS, which is irritable bowel syndrome, like you either have constipation or you have diarrhea or you have mixed, that is very well controlled with GLP-1s if you're on the diarrhea component. If you're on the constipation component of the IBS or even mixed, we could see some issues with your IBS. Ulcerative colitis is the autoimmune side. That's where we're using like the DMARD therapies and all of that to try to manage it. So it's very, very different. Still not a disqualifier ultimately, but depending where your GI tract is, depends on how it will affect that specific GI disorder you're having.
So what do you say to patients who are apprehensive about starting GLP-1? They need it, but they're apprehensive about starting it because of the fear mongering that goes along with people talking about per, the paralysis. What is it called?
Gastroparesis.
Yes, gastroparesis.
So I tell them first and foremost, I explain that that is complete utter fear mongering. That basically the drug's job is to cause gastroparesis in so many ways. In layman's terms, they don't understand generally what gastroparesis is. I'm like, the drug is supposed to do that. However, I say, and I'm very frank. I'm transparent. At the end of the day, I said, what's going to kill you first? Your obesity or a little slowed down gut?
I can't with you.
And then they pause for a second and they don't know what to say. And it's an honest answer. You asked me a question and now I'm going to answer it with a question. What's going to kill you first? Let's be honest. I said,
And it is being honest. Yeah.
my job as a provider is to stay with you the entire way. So if you are experiencing, I'll give you a prime example. I fired a patient. I didn't fire him, but I stopped his GLP-1 therapy after one injection. And then I told him, I said, I'm not the provider for you. And I excused myself. I said, you need to go find another doctor. You've got to go in person. But I fired him after his first injection. And I did that for the safety of my license and for the fact that I realized that that specific individual, what he was telling me, I knew the drug wasn't doing to him. But there's clearly a psych component. He told me all these horrible things that happened to him after his first injection. And I'm like, okay, unless you're the very first with this is all BS. But my job as a provider is to be there with you when you're experiencing any weird symptoms. Let's talk about it. I will walk you through it and we will do it together. If I'm truly concerned, I'll send you for imaging. Let's see, are you having true gastroparesis, or is your gut slowed down like it's supposed to, because that's what the drug does. So I do talk about it and I say, my job is to guide you. You have to be open and honest with me and stay on top of me, just like it is my job to stay on top of you when I submit you for testing and lab results and things of that sort. Like this is a 50-50. Don't hesitate to ever call me out. Like, where's my PA? What's the status? Well, I'll be damned, I don't know. Let me go log in and look. I'm sorry. Keep me in check and I'll keep you in check. But
Right.
you have to be comfortable with your provider. So, but the honest thing to honestly circle back, what is going to harm you first? The GLP-1 or the comorbidities or the disease processes that you're already battling in your obesity?
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about hypertension, pre-diabetes in an African American patient.
Mm-hmm.
Because what's going to come next? You're going to have stage 3A, 3B kidney disease. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
3A, 3B, we can bounce back from that. All right, we can bounce back from that. Oh, well, you just converted now from pre-diabetes to diabetes, but you're still stage 3B kidney disease, so that's not bad. Okay, great. That's awesome. Oh, well, now you're going towards stage 4. And your blood pressure, we're having a hard time regulating it because your kidneys aren't working right anymore. And now that's happening, and before you know, we're talking about dialysis. So the point is,
Mm-hmm.
what's worse? Allowing what you're dealing with now to get worse, or your obesity to get worse, or trying a drug that there are tons of us at this point that can vouch for the drug.
Right.
And I'm very transparent with my patients. If you're gonna die in the next hour, I will be very honest. Like, you should call somebody. Transparency is key, and that's what I guess I'm getting at
Mm-hmm.
is you need somebody that's
Yes.
going to be transparent with you. If I'm going to tell you that when I stab you with this needle, it's going to hurt, you're going to trust me the next time you see me versus the person, oh, it's just a little pinch as I'm stabbing
Mm-hmm.
penicillin through your butt cheek. It's not a
Mm-hmm.
little pinch. That son of a bitch hurts.
Right.
You need to build the confidence. You need to have the confidence in your provider, and the provider needs to build that trust with you. That's our number one thing. That's what they teach us. Have your patient
Mm-hmm.
trust you. That's
Mm-hmm.
why the nursing model is so different than the medical and the PA model. Our goal is to get you to trust us, and you do trust us. We're the ones caring for you. Whereas the
Mm-hmm.
PA medical model, right? It's all about treat and street, figure it out. Okay, they have this bug, I figured it out, and I used all of my impressive math skills to calculate X, Y, and Z. The patient doesn't care about that. The patient cares about you caring about them.
Mm-hmm.
So that is what I strive myself on in my model. And I push that all day long. I tell my patients, text me, harass me, call me. If I don't answer you, text me and call me again.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's you got to stay on top of me. I'm like during this move, I'm very behind in getting back to people. So when they message me 3 times, I'm not like, oh, you pestering patient. I'm like, oh shit, thank you for reminding me. Like,
Right.
I'm so behind right now.
Yeah.
But as a provider, that's just how I function. So, and a lot of providers can't and don't have the time, and you can't hold that against them. They're taught to turn and burn. Even in primary care, turn and burn.
Mm-hmm.
They've got 30 patients today. It's not that they don't care about you, it's sadly our system. Because at the end of the day, is how much money can they make off of you? And
Mm-hmm.
that's the corporate part. That's the people that don't understand medicine talking and dictating our schedules.
Right. Well, I appreciate your time. You're always so educated. Sister, do you have any questions for Aaron?
No, I love Aaron.
Me too.
He does
Well,
no
I love
wrong
all
thing
of
in my
y'all.
eyes.
And now that I'm going to be in Texas and be harassed,
Aaron, I am your poster child because we started at 211, and I know I touch bases with you, but I'm at 138 pounds and I have not had anything. So it's it's doing what it's doing So
And that is the beauty of why I do what I do. Y'all, I could be incredibly rich compared to others. And I tell people all the time, I'll tell you my bottom line. I tell every patient, do you want to know what I'm going to make off of you? And they look at me for a second like nobody's ever asked me that question. I'm always very honest and transparent about it.
don't
But
let
this is
nobody tell you.
I do this for those that very response you just gave me. I love it.
Yeah, don't let nobody tell you you ain't doing, cause baby, I go to war behind you. You doing it, you do more, you go over and beyond, and I appreciate you because I'm down from blood pressure medications. My PCOS is regulating out, my alopecia with my hair is growing. I mean, I get setback, but I reach my goal and then some. So yeah, I did what you told me and stuck to it, and it's working for me. So
And that's what I feel like we need more of out there. We've got our GLP supporters out there. I want to hear more people telling their story
Yes.
because people need to hear it. They need the motivation. They need it, and that's amazing. I
So
mean,
can you,
as I sit here and look at my partner who never in a million years have first and foremost, I want to preface this from the beginning. I've said it from day one. When I met my partner, I was in the midst of the GLP-1 craze and I was just getting my feet wet in this situation. And, we were learning each other and he learned about what I did and what, the meds I prescribed, so on and so forth. And, he just kind of sat back because we were trying to learn each other. He wasn't looking for weight loss. He was looking to meet somebody. Long story short, during the course of our relationship, got on GLP-1 therapy. I'm sitting here looking at the bastard who's skinnier than me.
but you can look at it and be like, I did that. We did
I
that
did do
together.
that. I did do that. But I've heard his family responses, which I think is just, those were the parts. His family, which it was never in a derogatory way, but some of Prime One, his grandmother saw him for the first time after many months and was like, "That's the smallest I've ever seen you." His
oh my
mother,
gosh.
as we're
Oh my
preparing to leave,
goodness.
said to him, "Don't you get any skinnier? You've lost enough. Enough is enough."
I'm
He's the
getting that.
smallest he's ever been in his
Oh
adult
my
life.
gosh.
I'm
Keep
getting
in
that.
mind, I never thought he needed to lose the weight. I
Yeah.
didn't.
You tell me I'm fat every
I tell you, you
day.
fat all the time, but that's unrelated to it.
And what's my response?
I said you fat now because you're skinnier than me. The point is, I never said you was fat when I met you. I never said you had to lose weight either.
He's slim thick.
So it's interesting to see how this somebody who jumped in on it just for shits and giggles. He was interested. He wanted to dabble in it. Is now the smallest he's ever been. I
So how
mean,
do you feel? Can you hear me?
yeah, he can hear you.
How do you feel, friend?
A lot better than I did. It's crazy how much of a difference it makes just taking it. Even like Aaron was saying with the gastric portion of it. I mean, I have IBS myself, maybe not as severe as he does, but it's changed it a lot.
And and one thing we talked about tonight, I mean, we recently switched him back to Tirzepatide. He was originally MOUNJARO covered, stopped getting covered. I put him on GLP compound semaglutide because of cost and lost a majority of his weight on that too. And then we got him back on compounded Tirzepatide, and he was saying tonight, he's like, we're cleaning out the fridge, and one of his weaknesses was always a sweet tooth, and he would keep whipped cream because that's a low carb. Keep that in mind, people. Whipped cream, sweet but low carb snack. And I was throwing away all of his whipped cream, and he made a comment about, I haven't had a sweet tooth since Tirzepatide, and I was like, you're right. You've not purchased a sweet. You've not even had a sweet like that. So I've seen his habits change, just as somebody in the background of when I first met him to today, and the difference between the drugs. So he's done exceptionally well on the medicine. He is like Summer. He's a poster child of these drugs. He's just a poster child. All of us are. I don't care if you've lost 10 pounds, you're a poster child of the drug.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that is a conversation that can go way deeper and way longer. Is what are you supposed to look like on the meds? Are you supposed to be super skinny, cachexic, and this, that, and the other? No.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be what the healthy you is. And I tell my
Right.
patients every day, your weight number is what you determine, not what I determine. Where are you comfortable in your body?
I clap for me when I watch that those pill bottles go from being 8 pills today to 4. I clap when that cholesterol went from, oh, this is familiar cholesterol, and it was 300, and it went down to 115 after 45 days of just being on. That's what I was clapping. The weight
Yeah.
loss
And you
came
bring up
later.
a really good point. People, if you're on these GLP-1s not by your PCP, you've got to make sure that you're having your blood work checked at least twice a year, because your drugs are most likely going to need to be adjusted.
Mm.
And that is a big thing that people forget about. Thyroid patients,
Yes.
what is your thyroid level? Because are your drugs sitting in your gut and you're getting too much now? Or is it sitting in your gut and you're not getting enough now? So
Yes.
those certain drugs, blood pressure meds, I'm so dizzy. Well, the GLP-1s do cause dizziness, but are you dizzy because your blood pressure is 60 over nothing because they dosed you at 300 pounds?
Yes. You know, that thought never occurred to me.
I told you a few times because I was on 2, and I told you that, and that's where they got with me. Like, they took me off the metoprolol, but I would still have, like, with my PCOS, I would still hold fluid, but it went down to a half a pill when I told my doctor, and that's because Louisiana and the boiled food is why I'm still taking this other half a pill. But for the most part, when I did my injection, I wouldn't take it, and I would watch what I eat, because my blood pressure ranges was like 160 over 115, or on a good day it'd be like the 140 over 95. But once I want to say got into that 30-day mark and started taking a second injection, my my blood pressure ranges would be 90 over 59. 76 over whatever, and I had to start be mindful of, let me check my blood pressure a couple of days, like the day of injection, like before, the day of, and a couple of days after, because it would fluctuate like that. And plus, with me being thirsty and drinking the water even made it even better. So it's like my doctors will like continue to monitor it, and if you're not hitting that 140 over 90 mark, you don't need to take that medication.
Right.
Yep. Our insulin patients, that's a big one. Our actual diabetics that are on insulin, where should we be adjusting their insulin? We got to pay attention to those little things. And I think a lot of people forget that. They're so focused on their weight loss, but or they're having side effects. And I'm like, what do you mean? They tell me the side effects. I'm like, wait a minute. What other drugs are you on? Hold on. Is it the GLP-1, or is it your doses are all wrong now?
Mm-hmm.
Just like your clothes don't fit, your doses don't fit.
Mm-hmm.
And
And then also for people who say that they my blood sugar dropped. Now, what do you say to that? Because I have people that tell me that too.
That their
They're
blood
not.
sugar drop because
Mm-hmm.
they're on GLP-1s?
Mm-hmm.
Well, first and foremost, it's not because of the GLP-1.
Okay.
At the end of the day, the GLP-1, that the drug doesn't work that way to drop your blood sugar. Your
Mm-hmm.
blood sugar drop because you're not consuming enough.
Okay, that's what I tell them. I just wanted a clinician to.
So, from a clinical standpoint, the mechanism of action in this drug does not lower your physical blood sugar like if you took, glipizide. or one of the actual drugs, just like you and I learned, Keisha, in school. Like, does the drug affect their blood sugar, or does it affect their diabetes in a different way? Just like giving a patient metformin, it's not going to bottom out their blood sugar. But you give them a high dose of glipizide, what's going to happen? We're going to bottom out their blood sugar.
Right.
So no, it is truly all on them, but I think that they don't realize half the time that it is from their actual oral intake. They think it's the drug, but it was the drug, but it was the drug doing its job. You weren't paying attention to your body during the process.
And on the GLP-1 journey, I learned, and I pay attention to every. I'm just one of them people that just paid attention. I had to relearn myself, like through all of this. I was one of those people. Man, my insurance don't pay for this. Semaglutide did not work. My sister told me slow and steady, day by day. I even took with you, Aaron. I think we did a live where you said your partner didn't get the full effect until he hit that 2.4. And he started seeing the effect. And once I got to the 2.4 and plus stopped watching the scale, I started to see the inches, the pounds, and other stuff as well. So being on this journey, like mentally, physically, emotionally, you just relearn yourself, because you don't feel, well, I can say I don't feel the same like I did 2 months, 3 months, or even last year. So good job, sister. You is educating
Changes, and a lot of people forget that. A lot about you changes, and
Yeah.
you have to be cognizant of the changes along the way, because if you're not, you're gonna have a negative response. And I tell patients that all the time. Just like patients are like, oh, I'm gonna give up, and I'm like, why? I'm not losing anything. And I look at their dose and I'm like, we literally have like 5 more areas to titrate you up to. Like,
Right.
you're not always going to be that person that loses 30 pounds the first month they started it. No. Can some people? Sure. But be realistic. It's a miracle drug, but it's not an overnight drug.
Yeah, and can you also speak to obesity being treated chronically? I- you know, a lot of people talk about, they'll ask me, is this something that I can take and then possibly get off of? And I tell them yes. But a lot of times it's someone who has, it's not just obesity that they're treating. It's like obesity coupled with PCOS, and it has other thing, other stuff that they're treating. And I'm thinking to myself, how do I tell them that when they come off of this medicine, like, some of your symptoms that you had before could possibly come back? It's not just about diet. Like, if you're treating, if it's helping you with your inflammation, if you take the medicine away, then what was that inflammatory component is gone now. So what do you say to that, Aaron?
I tell my patients, I always give them the story of my one patient. I love her. She's 65 or 73, somewhere in that range. And she got to goal and she came off the meds. And she messaged me like 2 weeks later and she said, I need to get back on the meds. I said, oh no, did you spike really bad in weight? And she said, hell no, I'm skinny as I could be. I just feel better on the stuff. I said, okay, good enough for me. And that was in my learning stages of the drugs. And I was like, she says she feels better on them. I can't argue with it. I'm not going to withhold it from her. That's not a valid reason to withhold it. I'll give it. If she wants it, go for it. But the answer to what does maintenance look like and can I get off the drugs? I tell people, I just had this conversation tonight with my partner's friend who I happen to manage. He's like, well, what happens when I lose all the weight? And I said, well, the number one thing I tell everyone, I treat obesity like I do any other disorder. It's a chronic, lifelong thing. But I say, what is your natural body habitus prior to you deciding that you needed to lose weight? Were you a skinny person by nature, or were you always overweight? Because if you were always overweight, then it's a chronic problem that needs chronic management. And then I ask patients, and I tell patients to say, there's a couple different ways we can look at it. We can keep you on the dose that we stop at and where you meet goal, if that's not max, or if it is max, whatever. We can try biweekly injections, or biweekly meaning every other week, or we can start taking you down until we get to a dose that keeps you where you are or where you want to be, or we can even stop the meds and give yourself a safety window. That's my big one. That's a safety window. And they're like, what do you mean? And I say, everyone that I've done this with gives themselves about a 10-pound safety window, meaning if they go above 10 pounds, they're getting back on this stuff no matter what. No questions asked, I'm going back on it. I would tell you that I have not seen a patient successfully stay off of it permanently. They've always come back at some point. I've had a couple people that start, stop. I don't recommend that, but that's what they choose to do because some people have this I don't want to take meds.
Yeah.
But do you want to suffer obesity? Some people just require it. Just like I could manage your blood pressure with X, Y, and Z non-pharmaceutical drugs, but at the end of the day, if it's not answering, I got to give you the drugs. You got to take the drugs. And I remind them, where did you start and where are you at now and where do you want to be in life? If you're okay going from the super skinny you that you achieved on the drugs to what you consider healthy you and be off of them, great. But most people do need them in some way, shape, or form. If it's bi-weekly, if it's, low dose, they generally need them. I'm on max dose Tirzepatide, and I'm not losing. I've actually gained since I lost all of my weight, but I stay on it to curb my overeating. I am currently without meds. I have run out, and I can't get prescription, and I'm out of compound. I carry both, yes, and I'm drugless right now, and soon to be homeless as of tomorrow because I'm gonna be on the road, but. Today, I mean, even Charlie, who had scurried off to bed with one of my 3 dogs, looked at me. We were at lunch. He's like, "Hungry much?" And we joke with each other. By the way, y'all, when you hear those kinds of comments, it's strictly joking. But point being, he's like, "Be hungry?" I was like, "I haven't had a fucking shot in 24 hours. If you don't get out of my face," and he'll just look at me. Oh, and I'm like, but it is. I can tell immediately. I am. Today is injection. No, is today Sunday? Today's Sunday. Yesterday was injection day, and I didn't have one to inject, and I'm ravenous. I'm absolutely ravenous, and I have control up to a certain point. So I stay on the drugs to curb my overeating, not to be the skinny me, but to prevent me from being the obese me.
And I think that's where I am, like weight wise and my body wise. Like I gave myself, like my goal was 150, but I gave myself to 140. I'm at 138. And I did that because PCOS is real tricky. And one of the things with me, my symptoms start like around the time I would have my cycle. And it's not that I overeat. I like candy, like a bag of Skittles, a bag of this, and my food noise become loud in that phase. So it's like the week before, during the week, and the week after. So there's 3 weeks that I'm combating not trying to eat. And it's not that I even want the stuff. It's like, let me just get everything, binge off of it, lick it, put it back in the bag, and then be that. So that's where I am. I wouldn't be on a full dose because I've been off of the medication without it, trying to stay disciplined almost 2 months. But I did put a plan in the background. If I need it, I was just going to do a low dose and get back on the Tirzepatide because it'll help with the food noise. Because it's more so, that's basically what it is, the food noise and the craving. So it's not necessary to lose any more weight. It'd be to safely maintain, but to cut that food noise during that time.
And that's what I tell people is like, what does maintenance look like for you is different from the next patient. And we will play it by ear when we get there. Everyone wants all of the information up front, and I'm like, we don't know yet. It depends how it hits you. But I'm seeing a lot of success with biweekly injections. I do support that in my practice. I allow my patients to do biweekly. I also have unique doses in my practice. I use a 0.75. I actually also use a 3 milligram in semaglutide, which is unique to my practice. That kind of circles back to what you were talking about what do I do when I see failure or stall. I've started using a 3 milligram in semaglutide. I have not dabbled in above 15 with Tirzepatide. I've asked my pharmacist if any of the other compounding providers have. The answer was no. But semaglutide, I think we're underusing in dosage. So I started a
I do too. I think that. I think that too.
I started using a 3, and I've got a couple people on it, and they're doing very well. There is always the caveat: this is not FDA approved. This is we're doing this between me and you, kind of thing. But let's give it a try and see how you do.
Yeah, I love that.
So much to come, y'all. Much to come in the weight loss community.
Let me ask you one more. Let me ask you one more question. When it comes to skin, I've been noticing trending that a lot of people have been using tretinoin on their arms and on their stomachs, and I've been seeing a difference. Well, from what they show, I've not personally seen it with my own eyes, but I've seen people make videos about it. I've seen this. Is this something that clinicians are doing? Is this something that you would prescribe? Is this something that clinicians will prescribe tretinoin for? I don't really know what it does. I don't know if it has a smoothing effect, but I think it does have a smoothing effect.
You've got to be very careful with that medication. People underestimate the fact that this is a very high dose, high concentration of vitamin A. And there are protocols for when we put you on this medication for like acne.
Okay, so this is an acne medicine.
Yeah.
It's not a smoothing cream. No.
Dermatologists recommend like when you go there, you're going for that's what most people take it like.
I think he got a call. He'll be back, y'all. It's
So
written.
it depends. Majority of the time, yeah, I'm gonna put it from the standpoint where I be when I do prior authorizations. Yeah,
You need a PA for that?
depending on what it is, because sometimes you got to be a certain age, you have to have a certain type of acne. You just don't put it on your face all willy-nilly, because they are like smaller doses of like retin-A or something like that if you need it over the counter, that's safe for the general public. But when you get down to it, you have like pustule acne, or like something is really really heavily wrong when you start going into.
There is Summer, I'm sure you for females, we have to bend over backwards to prove you're not pregnant.
Or not about to get pregnant in the next couple of months.
It is not a drug to be played with lightly. It is much stronger than those realize. If you want to smooth it out and you want to sculpt that body, I would start setting the money aside for the med spas. We need to step back and not necessarily, which is crazy from a provider standpoint, believe it or not, I'm going to say we need to step away from the pharmaceutical drugs and go with some of the more cosmetic stuff. Take the weight.
So what do you think about what do you think about people that's doing that? Like, Are they harming themselves?
Yeah.
Are they setting themselves up for
I think
something
that
to
they're
happen
putting an
later?
unnecessary drug in their body, and that I am not that kind of person. That's like I'm the first person to be like, here, have all the drugs. Let's take all of them.
Mm-hmm.
That is one I'm not going to play with. Like I won't prescribe that. I will not do
Mm-hmm.
it. It's
Mm-hmm.
too dangerous to be playing with, in my personal opinion, unless it's under the supervision of a cosmetic doctor for cosmetic reasons, like a
Mm-hmm.
cosmetic dermatologist. I,
Mm-hmm.
as family, am not playing with that drug. Now, will I prescribe it for cystic acne? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Will I prescribe it for cosmetic purposes? Nope. You're going to have to lose the skin some other way.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I'm not comfortable. Not my wheelhouse. You know,
Okay.
my wheelhouse when it's acne, but it's not my wheelhouse when it's used off label like that. No, 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 no.
Got you. Okay. It's I don't know if you've seen, but it's been very popular in the GLP-1 community. And Aaron, honestly, it was something that I mean, I personally don't need skin smoothing because I've had a tummy tuck in the past, so I don't have loose skin in my tummy. Now I had a mastectomy, so I do have lymphedema in my arms, but there's nothing, I'm always probably gonna have that. I wouldn't try to use that, but it's something that I was thinking about, like if I had loose skin like that, is that something that I would consider doing? Naturally, I would talk to you about it. But I mean, I did have that thought, like if this is what people are doing and it is working, let me ask Aaron, is this something that he's seeing, or is this something that would
Not
actually?
yet for me as a provider. Now, when I relocate to Houston, where I am joining the practice I'm going to be in, does a lot of actually my location has a med spa. And I'll have my own injector. I'm so excited about that. Unrelated. But my doc that I'll be working with is actually she's obesity trained. She has used the drugs and prescribes them, but does the cosmetic stuff. So I will follow her, and she'll be sending me to specific training
Mm-hmm.
on some of this cosmetic stuff. So I'll be dabbling in it soon enough, and if once somebody can explain it to me in a capacity that I'm comfortable with it, then I'll dabble in it.
Mm-hmm.
But patient safety comes first, and right now for me, I'm not comfortable doing it. If I had a patient on it, I wouldn't shame them for it. Um,
Yeah.
but the one thing I want to preface with all of that, and I think that's my last point, we really as a community need to come together just like we did when we started pushing for plus size models.
Mm-hmm.
Body positivity,
Yes. Yes.
wrinkles, and things like that. Now, am I the first person to run and get Botox in my forehead? Absolutely. I can't wait to get back to Texas because I'll get my Botox done for a fraction of the price, and I'm super excited because I'm
I
wrinkly.
had that. I had to get
But
that for migraines, and I don't. My face was, I mean, flawless because it was looking like I was surprised for two months, but I can't. I couldn't do it. Like
I
those
want
injections.
people to push body positivity.
Yeah.
If I have flabby skin, it should be viewed the exact same as somebody with a completely snatched body. So don't be hung up on making be whatever makes you happy. And at the end of the day, if that's smoothing out your wrinkles, go for it. But don't let your wrinkles, be the reason that you're not happy. Be happy in the body that you have and what you have. Um, I don't have a flat chest, and I sure as hell don't have a flat stomach. But with my weight loss, I'm comfortable taking my shirt off in public.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not the nicest thing you've ever seen. Hell no. I mean, people would probably pay me money to put my shirt back on, but I'm comfortable in this body now.
Yeah.
I don't mind that see my body piercings and this, that, and the other now. Whereas before, I was ashamed of who I was. But could
Mm-hmm.
I afford to have some liposuction and a mini male tummy tuck? Absolutely. Am I going through all of that? No,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely not. I'm stopping where I'm comfortable. Look in the mirror and say, would you sleep with yourself? Right now, would I sleep with myself? I ask myself all as crazy as it sounds, I look in the mirror and I go, would I sleep with that? Would that body in front of me trying to sleep with me? Because let's be honest, the reality is
Yeah, homework.
good
I'm gonna
because
hear that in his voice tonight when I pass the mirror. Like, you coming home with me?
exactly. And honestly, there have been moments where I'm like, well, I wouldn't kick him out of the bed for farting. That's for sure. I look at myself, and then there's other times where I'm like, "Oh, you're letting it go a little too much. You're looking a little old." And I'm like, "Okay, snatch it all up. Got to fix it all up. Just be happy with who you are." But I always look at myself that way. I always
What
judge
do you
myself.
think about what do you think about lipo being lipo C? Serenity is asking. That's a good question because they ask me that all the time.
So
I've never taken it, so I don't know.
from science, it's not supported. I can't find enough to support it. I hear a lot of positive about it in the community. When I read about it, I can't support it. And that's the one thing you will hear come out of my mouth. I am medically driven. I have to have science behind it. And I can't see the science in it to use it, but I don't think it's a bad thing if you do use it. It's not going to hurt you. I just don't have the science to support that it does all the things it says it does. I think there's a lot of placebo there, to be honest. Well, y'all, my partner disappeared. I got to wrangle up these dogs. I got to
Thank
be
you
on
so
the road
much.
tomorrow.
Thank you so much for coming on. I cannot wait till you get down here.
I'll be there on Friday.
Are y'all driving? Y'all driving,
Yes,
right?
we are leaving tomorrow morning. This
Please
house still
be
got shit in
careful.
it.
Oh
Please,
my
because it's
god.
y'all gonna run into rain coming this way. So please be careful.
See, I'm already prepared for the rain. I didn't tell him there was a storm, and he's the one hauling our camper, so.
Oh my god.
But it'll be fun.
Safe travels, friend. Safe
Thank
travels.
you. I will check in,
Y'all,
and if any of my patients are on here, I'm working on it. I promise.
yes, y'all. This is Erin. This is my MP, you guys. This is who I talk about in every single live. Do you want to tell them the states that you have practice that you practice in?
Maryland, D.C., Virginia, Delaware, Texas, Washington State, Florida. Am I missing anywhere? I think that's everywhere, right? That sounds about right.
Yeah, he's working on California, and you have a lot of people out of Georgia that ask for you. In every
Yes.
line, Georgia be lit up in my comments. And New York. New York asks about you too.
Y'all need to go to your legislative branches to give us full practicing authority. That's the issue. That's why a lot of us don't join a lot of your states.
I already know the state over here is dumb.
Indeed. Georgia is one of the ones where it's just they make us bend over backwards. That's why I haven't done it. If my job will do it for me, fabulous. I would love that.
Pennsylvania.
So for Pennsylvania, I'll tell you like I do my Texas people that are close to Louisiana. Just cross the Maryland state line, please.
Yeah, they all like 5 minutes away from each other. Like,
Yeah.
literally.
I am working on my PA license. I've been working on my PA license almost a year now. Yeah, that one's in the works. That's just how long that horrible state takes. So just cross over to Maryland. If you're over the Maryland line, I can see you, but I can ship to you in PA or see you in PA. I just have to establish care in the state that I'm licensed in. So that's what I saw.
Thank you very much. I'm gonna put his website in the chat, you guys, which we do every single chat. And then if you need more information, y'all just DM me.
Have a lovely night, girl. You look fabulous. Summer, I love talking to you as always. Super intelligent.
Thank you.
But I'm gonna take my ass to bed, y'all.
Night night.
Okay,
Have a good
safe
night.
travels.
Thank you. I'll see you soon.
Yes, you
Literally.
will. Yes, you will. Trust that.
Yes, because I gotta take Charlie for actual seafood boil. He's never had one, so
Oh my God,
uh,
that's
yes.
gonna be
Uh-oh.
so
So
much fun.
Just need
so
a
I'm
That's
gallon
gonna
of
be really
water.
fun.
And Keisha, make sure you make them the sauce.
Oh
there you go.
yes, trust.
Yes, we're just gonna go to Keisha's for dinner. We're gonna do a live, y'all, and I'm gonna
Oh,
be
listen, that's
Charlie's
gonna
gonna be in the
be.
back eating.
Oh yes, I can't wait. I cannot
All right,
wait.
y'all have a safe rest of your evening. Have a great start of the week, and
Thank
keep up
you.
all of your strong work, everyone. Keisha puts a lot into this, and so does Summer. So
Thank you, friend.
fabulous. Have a good night.
Good night. Sweet dreams.
Thank you. Same to y'all. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
I have a question for your public though. I know a lot of people are like, some get in and are like skeptical about the compound. Um, why is it a lot of people doubt the compound but quick to hop on like the lipo Cs and all that when that is compound as well?
And compound that does not have a lot of medical.
Backing, like it's no, with no training, you just get, because it doesn't come in a syringe. They gotta mix that stuff. That popped in my head when I saw about the lipo and the lipo C. I'm like, that's a compound. Why no one fear that? Because that's just like
That
getting.
is a great question. We do, and there was some other stuff. Let me bring Andrew up. Let me bring Andrew. Andrew, do you
Hold
have
on, let me
time,
get my
friend?
water.
Because
Hold on, let me drink some water so I don't lie to this man. Give me a moment.
oh,
Let me drink my water, girl.
he gonna get you. For
Mm-mm.
anybody that is new in the chat, if you guys are interested in starting your GLP-1 journey and you are interested in starting your journey with Amble, all you have to do is click on my picture up here. My profile will come up, and my website. There's a clickable link. It's the first clickable link in, and we can get you guys started with no shipping, no subscription, and no physician fees. Andrew.
What's going on, Summer? You drinking that water? Summer, is you drinking that water, friend?
No, let me show
Forget.
you.
I appreciate you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Was y'all writing that down? Okay. Was y'all
Oh
writing down all
yes.
those gems, all that good information? Because I'm telling you right now, as soon as I get insurance, I'm calling Aaron. I'm calling him so fast it's not even funny. Okay. If I have to get Keisha to call him rather than go to his website, I'm going to Aaron as because I'm not trying to be fighting with all that stuff. I want to be like, Aaron, here you go, and let Aaron do it.
Y'all, listen, when I tell you he is a great nurse practitioner and
Fantastic.
he has a lot of licensures behind him, and he's also working on his PA. But what I absolutely love about him is that he loves his patients just just
Yes.
like he's just like the owner of Amble acts just like he acts just like Aaron. He's about his patients. That's all they talk about is their patients. They love their patients. And Aaron, he goes the extra mile. He goes the extra mile. That's why when he was talking about when y'all are having y'all's consultations with y'all clinicians, y'all have to say everything. Overly
Yep.
tell them stuff because they can use that stuff to help y'all with y'all PAs. So that is really good. And then Andrew, now sister, back to what you were saying about the um the lipo C's and the lipo B's. Now I'm not against it. I've never tried it, and I do have some friends who had some great success with it. Andrew's one of them. But we were also talking about the lemon. What was it, Andrew? Lemon
The
balm.
lemon bottle, yeah.
The
Yeah, the
lemon bottle.
fat dissolvers.
Yeah, and the fat dissolvers. So that's another thing that seemed to be very popular that I just wasn't privy to. But it's something that I'm willing to try because I see that my friends have had results with it. But Andrew, what else do? You it's not just dependent upon that.
I do. I definitely do like the lipo. I definitely like the lipo, but I'm getting them, from an actual telehealth provider now. I'm not getting them from, just any old body. I'm actually getting them from a telehealth provider now. So it's a certain, like, they do customization. So he's like, okay, based off of what you sent me here for your blood work, you need this in your formulation of lipo because of your high cholesterol, for example. So that's what I'll tell people with that is now you can have a conversation with the provider and he may say you may not need this much L-carnitine, but you need L-arginine in here because of X, Y, and Z. So that's what really stuck with me, and that's why I've been getting my lipo from Mobile Care for a while now. It's been a couple months. He puts B12 in it. I've had a couple different formulations from them, but I like knowing what's in that vial. That's really important to me. I
Yes.
like that.
Yeah.
And see, you know, it's like, and I just been seeing mixtures when I be in you guys' lives and everybody, and I know half of it be like pandemonium because of the media, whatever. But no one, I have not seen no one question what's in that lipo C
Nope.
or what's in
No, they
any of
haven't.
those injections, but will
You're
comment
right.
down about what's in the semi and
You are
the
right.
Tira, and I'm like, it's only two, and we already know it's going to be a B12 or a B6, and it's going to be the active ingredient of whichever one you choose. That lipo, I can tell you, is um B12, and I could just be giving you sterile water with a little food coloring in it, and you will never question me,
Mm-hmm.
not one
Mm-hmm.
time.
But one thing Aaron said, and I'm so glad he said this because you hear so many people, and we can agree to disagree. Everybody has opinions on lipo shots. Everybody has opinions on research peptides. Everybody has opinions on GLP-1s. But what I like that he said is that I may not have the research to support it, but I'm not going to judge them.
That's
And I
right.
think everybody needs to hear that and understand that because I hear so many lives where people have an opinion. If you can't find the documentation to support it, if you've never put it in your body, don't try and influence somebody else on something that you haven't touched.
The
If
That's
you
telephone.
just
right.
don't agree with it, just don't agree with it from your seat
That's
and let
right.
everybody else do what they're going to do.
Like the
You
telephone
That's
know?
game.
right.
This
That's
has
right.
become the telephone game. Like, we all played that in some shape, form, or fashion where Keisha tell me something in my ear, and then I'll tell you something in your ear, but I add to it, and by the time it get to where it gotta go, it ain't nothing what
Exactly.
Keisha said in the beginning. And that's how this whole process with the GLP-1 community, the meds, like the you don't need it, I don't need it, it's for diabetics, it's for this person, it's for, no, it's not. Because one thing is not an insulin, and everybody still have that in their mind thinking, oh, it's an
Mm-hmm.
insulin, so only
I
diabetics
don't
can
know
have
why they
it.
can't get past that. It's
And
almost
Mm-mm.
like they don't want to believe that this hormone is actually helping treat all. It's like I don't know. Maybe it's because it's in an insulin syringe that we give it. I don't know why people cannot get past that.
I don't know what it is. And I'm so glad I found those older pictures because I think people truly believe that I was not heavy. So I said, let me find the older pictures and show these people that there was a stomach there that was hanging over. It was a real thing.
I
It was
need
a
to do
real thing.
mine. I need I
It
need
is.
to
Yeah.
I need to do mine because I think today was the actual day that I actually post. No, I post a little bit of where I do full body. And
Yeah.
I
Post that.
normally don't do full body, and one of the reasons I never did, not because I was heavy set, is because, well, I was top heavy, and men always flock to the top part of me, so I would just give face card. I wouldn't give anything else because I didn't want the attention of
Yeah.
being top heavy. So that's where, and I'm still stuck in that phase of where you're only gonna get this, and I tell people like I'm built bad, so don't even
Oh,
think about what I look like or whatever the case may be. But that's I need to do a before and after because it's been a year,
yeah.
and we're in June, so uh March, April, March, May, June, so a year and 4 months for me, and I'm 138 pounds from
There you
200
go.
anything.
Amazing.
And I wrote it. I had good days. I had bad days. I suffer from high blood pressure, high cholesterol. I get migraines. I have PCOS. Um, just women stuff, basically hormonal stuff. So it's like day by day. Don't watch the scale. I was one of those people. I was just telling one of the girls today, like I gave myself small other goals to focus on than weight. Inches, the medication bottles went down and to next to nothing. Even though we hate cycles, from going to have one cycle a year and being told this about infertility to having it and being better and cleansing myself out. So it's like little stuff I would clap for me because my hair didn't fall out today. It's doing something, and
Yeah.
the weight loss is a bonus. That's the bonus for me. But everything
Yeah.
else was lining up and adding up. So it's like I care that I was getting small, but I care about my overall health in general. It don't make no sense to be skinny if I'm gonna have a heart attack tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? It don't make no sense to be skinny and fine in a two piece and I'm having a migraine out this world and I can't hold my head up to enjoy festivities. So it was like I did what I had to do to be better.
But
So
that's what's so important, and I say that all the time. Like people ask me, "How have you been doing this? How have you been doing this?" I pay very close attention to that gut health. There's tests that you can buy off of Amazon that can test your microbiome. You would send them your number two, and they'll test it, and they'll send you back a list of foods that are good for you, that are superfoods, and foods for you to stay away from. Another big thing for me is my hormones. You do not realize how big your hormones play a part in you losing weight,
yeah.
in you building muscle. Your hormones play such a big part in how you do almost anything. And I knew for me, I told the provider, I said, listen, when I start doing weightlifting, I'm going to be tired. I'm going to be exhausted, especially after leg day. I'm going to be tired. I said, I'll do the weightlifting, but I need something to combat that. And we got on the hormone replacement therapy. And now, listen, I don't look fluffy. I look nice and tight. Like I got my jaw lines looking good. I said, that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted. So you really have to craft your journey around your overall health. What is your gut health doing? Can you digest vegetables? Are you digesting broccoli correctly? Or are you bloated and it takes you 3 hours to digest it? Whether you guys know it or not, steak takes a very long time to digest
A
in your
long
digestive
time. Oh
system.
my
And I
God.
love it. I love steak too, and that's why I
Angel,
had to because I
it took
suffer
a
from
it takes
GERD.
a I'm sorry, sister. I'm sorry, sister. Steak took a long time to digest before GLP-1.
Mm-hmm.
So just
Yeah,
Yep.
imagine now.
and
Yep.
what I told you when you said you was gonna eat steak, I said, girl, make sure you chew that at least like they say 32
Yes.
times and take your
Yeah.
protonics because I already know that's one of the things I crave. Like when I know my iron's low, I need red meat, and my go-to is I need a half cooked ribeye because I'm in vampire mode, and I'm gonna take whatever I'm gonna pregame, and I'm gonna just sit and I'm gonna eat all that, and I'm gonna suffer, but
Yeah.
it's what it is.
But there's a
I
chart.
love
Look it up. I found it years ago, and I sent it to my coach. I was like, "Is this real?" You can look up how long does it take to digest certain foods, and you'll find a chart that shows red meat takes this long, fish takes this long, shrimp takes this long. I was like, "Do you know how many times I'll have red meat and have a burger in a week?" No wonder.
Oh my gosh. Andrew, you need to do a video on that.
I will. I definitely will.
It
I'm
would
really
be a
trying to get
great
people into that
video.
gut health.
gum
It's
because I
so
used to
important.
swallow gum. I used to swallow gum.
I did too.
I
I did
used to
too.
swallow gum. My dad scared me out of swallowing gum. Between him and my sister, they scared me
I used to
out
do
of
that.
used to doing gum. But yeah,
But gum is so
I'm
weird because they say
allergic.
gum's going to curb your appetite, but gum is going to start the process of digestion in your stomach. I don't know if anybody ever noticed when you're chewing gum, your stomach starts to bubble because it's going to start doing the
I burp.
digestive thing.
Yeah, a series of
Yep.
burping. But I chew gum like I chew gum because I suffer from real bad panic attacks, and I just needed
Mm.
another outlet So me
Mm-hmm.
chewing that gum ignorant style, like Medea said, give me that gum. I used to do that because it made me feel better. So, and when somebody used to try to get the gum from me, I'll just
Yeah.
swallow it.
I used to be
So
Orbit all day. I had so much Orbit around my house, it was ridiculous.
we do Jolly Ranchers now.
Wow.
We're on the Jolly Ranchers kick. Our family eat
But I
Jolly Ranchers.
watch that sugar too. I watch that sugar. You guys hear me say all the time, sugar free does not mean sweetener free.
Right.
Mm.
Sucralose, maltodextrin. They call them different things just so they can put sugar free on the box.
So what do you use, Andrew? Stevia?
I really don't add stevia to really anything because like I was gonna put that, somebody put that in the chat too where they were talking about the Premier. Like I literally will do, if I'm making a Profi, I put the Premier protein shake in there and that is it. I don't add creamer, I don't add stevia because if you think about it, about the ingredients that's prepackaged in there, it's already enough sugar in there. It's already enough additives and stuff in there. So when you add additional stuff to it, like I think somebody said they use caramel as their creamer. Watch that sugar in that caramel because it's going to have all those additional additives and could change everything completely.
Caramel as their creamer?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna say because I wouldn't say I get what you're saying. That's just like when I do my breakfast. I watch how, unless I'm cooking for other people, when I cook grits, I watch how I do salt and pepper. If I'm having bacon on the side, I wouldn't do the salt as much in there because I'm eating the bacon and I let the bacon be the
Yes.
salt instead
That's
of
how you do it.
so that's the same way too. If I do make coffee, because I work from home, so I'm an avid coffee drinker, I do creamer, but I probably will put a little bit next to nothing of sugar because I already use creamer. And that's just like for the ones who don't use anything, but instead of using the sugar, you'll use honey instead. They just use the
Yes, I've done
caramel
that too.
instead of the honey, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Thinking that substitution works, but it's moderation.
You can use heavy cream, but you still even have to watch it because I think it's like 100 to 300 calories in a tablespoon or something. You just
Oh
have
my
to watch it
God.
when you get into. I used to tear the heavy
We don't
whipping cream
measure. We
up.
don't measure. We wait till the ancestors say, "Hey, girl."
But when I was working out and on that
TMC
scale, I was like, "What's happening? What's going on?"
says she used honey in her coffee. So honey does honey have honey? Who did I say? Oh my gosh, my friend can come on. Hey friend,
Hi.
I did not know you could
Hey.
come on. Y'all, this is my best friend Nikita. Friend,
Yes.
do you friend, do you mind sharing with the live or no? This is her first time being on live.
What you want to talk about?
I want you to tell them about your experience. First of all, tell them how much weight you're down.
I am down.
And put your phone on do not disturb. She's a very popular person. Hold on, y'all. She'll be back. I did not even know that she can go live. Oh, it's up now. Wait till she tell y'all. Wait till she tell y'all how much weight she lost, y'all.
Let's
I
go.
was
I love
ducking
it.
you, Andrew. I'm not even gonna lie. The other day, because I had fixed me some water, and I was like, I'm gonna drink it, and then I'm not gonna drink it, and I was like, oh, Andrew in the chat, let me hide before he tell me.
I love to see it. I love to see it.
Okay, friend. Tell them how much weight you have lost.
As of today, I'm down 151 pounds.
Oh my God.
Wow. That is fantastic.
151 pounds, y'all. We be sending pictures back and forth to each other. And I know my thought process be like, how the hell you let me get so big?
Girl, I had some old pictures that came up of me and Brandon, and I sent it to him. I said, "Boy, we was just fluffy."
That Facebook memory would be humbling.
Oh, honey.
Facebook memory will humble you.
No, it's that Google Photos memory that'll get you 5 years ago when that stomach was all over the place. I said, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see none of that.
Delete.
10 years ago, we made a collage. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it.
So, friend, can you tell them about your journey? Do you feel comfortable talking about your journey?
We're not talking about that today.
Okay. She's shy, y'all. But anyway, I'll tell a little. I'll tell just a little bit of something. We both started our journey of GLP-1 together in September. I think you started a week after me, right, friend?
Right.
And she have lost double the weight I've lost. I'm 74 pounds down. She is 151 pounds.
151.
Y'all, that's amazing, friend. I'm so proud of you. And y'all, she looks so good.
That's
She looks so
fantastic.
good.
That's
Genetics,
amazing. I love that.
genetics have really been on her side. Genetics have been on your side. You do know that. You blessed.
It look good under them clothes. On top of them clothes. You take them clothes off, I don't know. I feel like I got a lot going on.
Well, I'm gonna tell y'all that's her opinion. My opinion is genetics is on her side. Cause she's like Kima. I think Kima is almost 80 pounds down also. Them small waisted people, just naturally
Mm-hmm.
them small waisted people, she one of them people.
What's Ozempic face?
That Coke bottle shaped type stuff, she's one of those people. I'm still shaped square. I'm still the same, even I don't have no Coke bottle thing with
Give me
me.
the way my mind set up. My measurements goes as follow. I am a 36, 24, 47. Now
All right.
what y'all see in them pictures is something else, but that's what my measurements in my head are. I got hips for days. So
Okay.
you gotta
Okay.
use that. You gotta use that in theory. Like you not square shape. You just uniquely shaped and you fine, girl.
Mm-mm. When I was heavier, I was a box. I was a
Yeah.
box. I said no, thank you. Mm-mm.
That's why I feel like I still have some stuff. I still have some things that I want to do. I like how I look. Don't get me wrong. I love how I
You
look.
look
I'm
good,
very
Keisha.
comfortable. I'm very, very comfortable. But there's just some things that people be wanting to tweak here and there. And
Mm-hmm.
it's just some tweaking that I want to do. And I'm going to get to it.
Ain't nothing wrong with no tweaking now. Listen, ain't nothing wrong with that.
What's Ozempic
Mm-mm.
face?
Hold on, let me answer this person's question. For anybody who is new in the chat, I know it's getting late. People are hopping in and out. If you want to start your GLP-1 journey and you want to start using compounded versions of these meds, semaglutide and tirzepatide, you can click the link up here in this left corner. Click my picture in this left corner. My profile will come up, and my website is the first clickable link into my website, you guys. Ozempic face is where I guess where people feel like you have hanging skin. Some areas in your face are sunken.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think that's what it is. I don't know that there
Mm-hmm.
is a
That's what I've
terminology.
heard.
Let's see if there's a if there's a definition yet on Google. It just says Ozempic face is a term for common side effects of type 2 diabetes medication. Semaglutide causes it can cause sagging, and aging of facial skin. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't
I
know
wonder
that
if it's.
people.
I wonder if it makes bags under your eyes or something like that.
And the reason why I asked that, even though I'm not on that, I probably would have to show you or whatever. But under my chin, I don't have the double chin no more. But there, I can see my skin is a little bit loose. It's noticeable to me. I don't know if it's noticeable to anybody else, but it's noticeable to me depending on how I turn my head or whatever. So I probably need some collagen.
Telling you, start that. Yep, start that collagen now. Start that collagen right now. If you can start it early in your journey, get that
Look,
collagen in your
this
life,
is this
friends.
is this is an example.
Yup, see? See the difference?
I don't look like that, but oh god.
Look, here's another one.
Oh wait, I think I look like that. I'm gonna fix that by Saturday.
I didn't know they actually had images on here for that. Golly.
Leave it to my daddy to tell me that my face don't look right. You know, Mr. Marvin, he'll point it out.
Okay. Well, I know I don't have that.
You take your collagen
So,
faithfully.
Stacy says, all jokes aside, filters can help with that. I asked my dermatologist, and he said it's repairable. That's what I was showing Stacy. That's people who have. If you don't get down, there's people who have actually gone into the cosmetology office to get their Ozempic face fixed. Come on now. Come on, buddy. Y'all, Morocco say, look, man, you know we be in the bed at this time. What's going on? Get down. I take the collagen with my Kiala greens. Learned that from one of Keisha's lives. Yay, friend. What's Restylane?
Never heard of that.
We're gonna keep you informed.
I never heard of that.
I'm gonna get rid of Ozempic face by July 1st. I'm gonna tell you that. We're gonna rebuke this in the name of Jesus right now.
Oh,
Y'all, it is a skin filler, and there is a coupon. There's a Groupon for $560. This is the girl that had it done.
Like Botox to me.
And you know you can still do low carb, but do a little bit of carbs. That's gonna keep you looking full. You know, do a little bit of carb, throw some carbs in there, some vegetables. Vegetables are carbs too. I heard Keisha say she's adding rice in. Throw a little bit of carbs in there every once in a while just to even you out.
I never got rid of carbs. That's all I eat because I'm a picky eater. That's part of the problem. I'm a meat eater and I'm a carb eater. I love pasta. I love meat. My GERD, like if I want to do salad or whatever, like raw fruit, raw vegetables, even fresh fruit, I probably can enjoy it like maybe 1 or 2 days. After that, I literally have to stop because it'll upset like my GERD and my acid reflux. Why? I don't know. I guess because it's raw. But I can only go so long eating like fresh fruit and raw vegetables before like my GERD steps in.
And no, I haven't really touched fruit the whole time.
Really? Because I crave fruit forever.
I touched fruit in the beginning a little bit. I don't know if it was. I really feel like once I started the MJ, anything too sweet for me is an automatic no. So if I bite into it and it's too sweet, like I used to do the Red Delicious apples, Granny Smith, I would go in on the fruit. Okay, but nope. The Halo orange things, I used to do it all. I have not bought fruit. I can't remember the last time I bought fruit.
Then you know they small, so you gonna eat about 3 to 4.
Oh, tear them things up. Ooh, I'll tear them halos up.
Fruit was a go-to for me.
I love fruit.
I say fruit was a go-to for me. Like
was it really?
Crave fruit.
Me too. Fruit is my candy.
Okay. Okay.
Yes. I even get like the freeze-dried fruit. Like you can get them at I think Dollar Tree.
I know what you're talking about.
The apple, and for me, I would do those because, like, if you had like a craving for like chips, it would it would curve that, and it was also sweet.
There you go.
I would do those all the time, like addicted to them.
I remember that.
But isn't it such a thing of too much fresh fruit? Or too much fruit?
It could be. It
can stall you for sure.
Yeah,
you know, there's some fruits that have a lot of carbs in it.
This is true. Pineapples.
Yeah.
Girl, and I eat a can of pineapples. If I don't get a real pineapple, I eat a can of pineapples and I live off that for a day. Like that's how I function and I
I
move
used to
on.
tear pineapples up too, but
I gotta
now I've just been getting the. You can get the bromelain supplement by itself. That is amazing for your gut. That is fantastic for your gut. That's why people tell you to have pineapple juice and all that stuff when you're not feeling well.
I
But
just
if you don't
ordered
want to worry about
the
the
bottle.
fruit, you can get bromelain, get that supplement, and you'll be good.
So I have a controversial question. How do y'all feel about? Because I know Andrew, you are really slimming down. Sister, you know you are slimming down. Nikita, you really slimming down. How do y'all feel? How do y'all feel when your family tells you that okay, that's enough? Like Aaron was saying, that's enough about his spouse. That's enough. You need to stop losing. How does that make you feel? And what do you say to them as a response? Let me let Nikita go first since she is the
Um,
newbie.
you know my mouth, Keisha. So
I like her already.
You be rude.
no,
Tell us the
I'm not rude.
story.
I'm just as a matter of fact. Where was that same energy when you was letting me walk around here 330 pounds and you ain't say shit?
Mm-hmm.
I like her.
So whatever I got going on right now, I'm comfortable. So let me be comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And I look at everything with you gonna talk about me if I'm doing good, you're gonna talk about me if I'm doing bad. So I really don't care what you gotta say.
So does it make you feel away?
No, because I'm not doing this for you. I'm doing this for me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
So
what
now,
want to get on
sister,
the bandwagon?
before you respond, Sister Woodkirky says, can you use ZEPBOUND 7.5 and 2.5 of Tirzepatide compound to make 10 because of the shortage? Friend, I wouldn't mix them. And also talk with your clinician because they may. I'm not sure. I would not do that. But ask your clinician, friend, to be on the safe side. Sister, what you think? How do you feel? Because you know, Daddy, Mama called me today and was like, check on your sister because I think she 130 pounds.
They honestly and truly, they act like I was a fat child. I never was a fat child. And rest in heaven, my little baby. I'm actually the size I was when I was 5 months pregnant. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but my compliment me and then leave me alone. I don't have an eating disorder. I'm not starving myself because they literally came here Friday and brought me a quarter pounder meal.
Mm-hmm. She
And
said I gave her $60 to make to put some carbs in the house. That's what she said.
they tell me
I
I'm
said, Lord.
hungry. Like, I'm okay. I have to reassure them to tell them that I'm okay. Um, I guess because I was heavyweight for so long,
Uh huh.
and now that people are actually seeing, because it's not just coming from my parents. I have my friends too. Depending on who I talk to, they tell me don't lose no more weight. Like you have nowhere else to pull it from.
But
But
why
I'm
they
not.
say that? Why they say that? Because you look good. Why? That's the part I don't understand.
It it's it's more so. Well, one of them put it to me that way. She was like, "Well, I'm so used to you being that fluctuating between 100 and well, they thinking I'm like 180 or whatever when I'm clearly in 200. I just the weight was just proportion
Mm-hmm.
that they so used to seeing me this size, like heavy set, that now that I'm back to size, this is the size where you met me. This the size that I was back in 2018, 2017. It wasn't that far ago. Um, I don't know why they don't like my friends don't remind me like my parents do. My dad was one of those ones, if you was too big, hey, you need to back away from the table. You need to put the spoon down. Like he's really, if he's saying it, like then it's serious. But I reassure him like my face. That's what made me ask y'all about Ozempic face. He was like, your face look like it's sunken in. Look at this and look at that. And I'm like, stop hating. I'm not starving myself. I reassured him. And he was like, no, you really need to eat.
Right.
So it's a little annoying, but I also reassure him like I'm not around here like, oh, I'm not even on the injection. I don't have no injection in the house. It's been like 2 months. So it's like y'all can calm down, but it gets annoying at times. But it's like I reassure them, and if I'm annoyed, I'll tell them stop watching me. Like
Mm-hmm.
so.
Mm-mm-mm.
Okay, well, I have a pork chop to go cook.
I would say, y'all, just to touch on that really quickly, I would say just set that boundary. Set that boundary for your family because you're going to hear that a lot at the beginning of your weight loss journey, in the middle, and towards when you're reaching your goal. Like my family saw me lose weight before I got all the way down to 182. Now I did the weight loss journey again, but my family knows I'm not going to approach Andrew with no mess. That's Andrew's body. He's an adult. He's going to do what he wants to do, regardless of what we tell him. But that's
Mm-hmm.
the boundary that I've set. You're not gonna come over here talking crazy about Andrew, you losing weight again, you getting too small. I'm grown. You
That's
understand what I'm
right.
saying? But you have to establish that with them so they don't think they can just walk up to you and be like, "You ain't done losing weight yet. You gonna keep going? You small enough." You have to let them know that they cannot approach you like that. That's very important, and it's okay to say that to your family.
Yeah.
Yes, I think
Yeah,
those boundaries are very important.
they do it at church. It be we so close knit, and it's like I'm all right, thank you, I'm
But
cool.
like you said, sister, I think it's because they, I know I have for sure. I've been overweight at least 20. When I met my husband, me and my husband were 20, almost 23 years in. I started gaining weight after I met that man. After I met that man, and because of the, like when you first meet someone, you start gaining that happy weight,
Mm-hmm.
and then also that their cultural type of food that they would eat, that they would cook that I wasn't accustomed to, and so I know I've been overweight for over 20 years. So I think that's the reason why you hear that from people at church, or you, or mom and dad. They just
Yeah.
so used to us being thick girls, just heavy set girls. That's just what they're used to. They're not used to seeing this healthy side of us, and they don't get used to it.
Yeah. And I've had to tell certain people, like, if you're going to cook it like that, I can't have it. I'm not saying, because you have to explain it, especially when it comes to family. Because I'll never forget when I told my mom, I can't eat that because of what you're seasoning it with. Like, we were a seasoning salt household to the
Mhm.
core. Okay. And I was like, Mom, I can't have that. And she looked at me funny because I never told her that before. I said, it's not me telling you I don't want something from you. I don't want you to think I'm rejecting you giving me something. It's just that for my health right now, I can't eat that. But I still
Mhm.
accept things from you. You have to kind of break it down to them so they understand that you're not completely shutting them off.
Right. Yeah.
I'm going to put that in my basket. I've been working on my delivery and how to handle people without just straight cutting them off and be like, you know what? I ain't talking to you no more. Let me put you in the trash and leave it like that. So it's like I understand your feelings and your emotions, but this is what is going to go, and this is how this is going to stand.
Yeah,
So
because the reality is the healthy you is what you are supposed to look like.
Yes.
That what they were used to you looking like, that was you when you were inflamed, you know,
yeah,
um, had cardiovascular disease, your heart, your hypertension. So that was me when I was sick. This is how I'm supposed to look. Like y'all, that's what it just baffles me, the people's way of thinking. Like they'll look at you and say, "Oh,
Mm-hmm.
you look sick now." No, friend. This is how I'm supposed to look. I'm not supposed to have all that fat. I'm not supposed to have all of that adipose tissue that was on me. I was in an inflammatory. I was retaining fluid. It's like they don't think that. It's
Yes,
crazy.
exactly. That's why I show that picture. I'm like, do you guys see the inflammation around my chest, around
Hmm.
my neck? You can barely find my neck in one of those before pictures. Like that is a real thing. And that's not just the thing of, oh, you look healthy that size. No, I was not. I was not. My knees were hurting. I could barely stand up straight all the time. Like it was a lot.
Amen to the knees.
Yeah.
I paid attention to that. Probably I kneeled down to so my dog could run to me, and like even though they crack, I don't feel that weight or that pressure. Like when I just do a squat, just to be silly, I'll do a squat or whatever and be like, oh yeah, I'm filling out in 2.2 seconds. But I don't have that, oh, it hurt. Y'all remember the good knees challenge? I actually did it for me like yesterday just to see if I could do it. And I'm like, you know what? A difference that it made compared to when I was trying to do it. I'm like 190 and 180. Like it's so different. So it means something. I could do a semi toe touch and I could never hop. I never had hop. So it's like I feel good in all those areas and I feel better, like mentally, physically. I just feel better in a good space. So yeah, setting those boundaries like now, I pretty much like let them they get a little free passes because it is my elders, but I just give them more so the reassurance like ain't nothing. I eat, don't get me wrong, I eat. I have me a little meat too, a little hamburger, a little hot dog, a little Chinese food, or a little Cane's here and there. I eat, but it's just that I done disciplined myself to ways to where this is where I go, this is how it's gonna be, and it is what it is. So
That's it.
Okay, well, do y'all have any last words for the night? I haven't eaten anything today, y'all. Not one thing. Not one thing. But I've been drinking teas.
I've been a pig.
I'm
I've been in a
hungry.
Father's Day
Oh, I tore it up
celebration.
today too. I had two
What you
pizzas. I
had?
tore it to the ground today. You hear me? I had pizza. I had these sausages that I like from Costco. I had four of those. I said, Andrew, we just gonna go in today. We just gonna let you have it. Cause we
Homemade
gotta get
turkey burgers.
we gotta get this scale moving. I said we just
Homemade
gonna let you go in today. Let's do this high
homemade
carb day and Gavin.
homemade turkey burgers, seafood pasta, seafood jambalaya, brisket.
That sound good.
Oh, Nurse Nikki
Um,
is in Punta
we
Canta.
done got something.
Yes.
It's
Punta
all
Cana.
type of stuff, some type of little green beans. I don't know, but they had a Father's Day celebration today at one of my good friends, and I went after church. And I had me a little smorgasbord. That's why I ain't drink no water until I saw you because I felt convicted. I had liquor instead.
I got my water, Andrew.
I had liquor instead. And I was like, ooh, Andrew gonna get me. Let me give me a bottle of water and flush
I'm
this
gonna get
out.
them. Somebody said Cinco de Mayo. They showed a picture. I'll never forget it. They tagged me in a video. They were at a bar and they say, Andrew, it's water in my drink. I said, I'm gonna get you. You better not. It was a frozen drink. She said, there's water in here. I said, you know what?
I
Go
mean,
fight.
I'm telling you, it gets you right. Like you automatically get thirsty when you see Andrew name.
Mm-hmm. Nikita,
You
what
scroll
you ate
on TikTok.
today?
You scroll on TikTok and see Andrew, and you take a drink. Like it's automatic conviction.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing.
You been nibbling on your tuna fish?
No, I haven't had anything today. I was gonna make some chicken, and then I thought about making some beans, and then I came out the kitchen because ain't nobody home but me, so there's no point in cooking.
Well, I'm finna grill some pork chop.
I'm not coming down now.
Well, I like a good pork chop now.
Mm.
What you gonna make with it? I might come down now.
Nothing. Just protein. Just protein.
Put a little bread
Give me
on it.
some little green.
Like I said,
I don't eat bread.
oh girl,
Put some green beans with that thing. Put some green beans with that thing. Season them up. That's gonna be
Broccolini.
good.
No, I don't have no broccoli.
Oh, child.
Now I'm finna do a good 8 minute grill of a pork chop.
If I come,
That's
I'm coming
it.
in my PJs.
ain't nobody
Well,
go get you but Morocco with them ankles. That's it. If ain't nobody go greet you, you know, he go greet you.
Cause him love to see him, Annie.
mm-hmm.
Nikita,
well, I'm
that
gonna let
dry
y'all
scooping
go.
video you and Keisha did had me
Oh my
cracking up
God.
No,
laughing.
I
it
You hear
laughed
me?
at it.
did
It came
not.
across my feed one day, and I'm like, now look at him.
I
Did
was
you see
on the floor.
Did you see Shantae?
Is that the one
Uh-uh.
Kima tagged us in the other day?
Girl.
Don't
I
do
said no, she
no.
know better
Don't
because
do that.
she
That oh Jesus Christ! It almost took me.
when I seen that she was about to do that, I was gonna say she do not know what's gonna go down.
Your video had me on the
Oh my
floor.
But
God.
y'all, I did it again. Me and
Mm,
Kima did it together.
a
Mm-mm.
glutton for punishment. Just like putting your tongue on that battery when you was little. You know it's
It's
going.
not like
No.
it's not like dry scoop and bloom. It's something totally different. Them greens is two totally different things. Cause I can dry scoop bloom, but I cannot dry scoop Kiala. It's like it's something about Kiala greens when you put it in your mouth, it expands.
It's like I feel like I was doing the cinnamon challenge,
Oh God.
and I ain't never did it. But from what I hear, it ain't nice, and I just felt like I was fit to die from suffocation.
Yeah, it's like it is once it gets in your mouth, it expands.
Why
Oh
are
no.
y'all laughing? Because it was
Cause
no
it's like
laughing
you can
matter at
But
visualize
I don't
y'all
all.
I don't
face.
understand dry scooping because you're gonna put water, you're gonna put a liquid in there anyway. So why
Well,
don't we just put it in the liquid?
So
I
Yeah,
just got
okay.
that from Giovanna. Giovanna dry scoop. She loved the dry scoop.
I
see,
don't
I got it from
understand.
Kima because Kima told me she dry scoop. So
She
I was
did.
like,
I don't get it. Cause you
let
still
me
gonna drink
try
water.
it because she said that way she can just, have it done for the day. So
Mm.
my thing
Trying to take a
is,
shortcut and almost took you out.
I
Mm-hmm.
can't the color. It just looked like baby poop to me, and I just have a hard time. It tastes
Not baby
fine,
poop.
but
Not
just to look at it, I can't.
after the peas. That's the safe way. There you go, baby.
Oh no, y'all be thankful. My green juice is terrible.
It's good.
My
I love
green
it.
juice is terrible in the morning. But that's because of the ingredients I put it there. That's the only reason. It's nasty
I
as all
like green
outside.
juice. I like
Even
green
when I
Oh,
juice.
it's
used to do
terrible.
like the smoothie diet, and I would have to do like all the spinaches and the kales and the
The
this.
tent,
I
the
used to do
tent
that.
based smoothie. I love them
I used to
smoothies, and
do
then
that.
they had
I
more.
used to
I
juice
like yeah,
But
you
heavy.
I
do.
had to go and buy containers that I could not see it.
Oh my God.
Really?
I
You
cannot.
got
If I
that's
see it,
mental.
I
That's
can't.
mental,
It
friend.
just
You're
looked
telling
like
me
baby
you
poop.
got mental. That is
Oh, you look
mental.
like and collards. What you think you look like after you eat some good collard greens, though?
Baby, I'm gonna eat some greens.
Right, and you gonna look just like that.
Wednesday night, I went and had me some. We went to the
At your
Oh,
grown age, you gonna look just like that.
I should make us some greens tomorrow.
Oh, collard
good.
greens.
Ain't no
Amen.
greens
Man, they
like your
sound
mama
good.
greens, girl.
You make the greens. I bring some prosecco. Girl, we could sit there and eat greens and drink prosecco and water.
And drink water. Look, I just
Yes, it would.
I got
Yes, please.
catfish. I took some catfish out the freezer.
Oh, summer! I made some stuffed catfish last week.
Hmm.
Ooh, I could do that because I got some crawfish tails and some crab meat.
Yes, I use crawfish tails, crab meat, spinach, mozzarella, parmesan, and cream cheese.
Ooh,
Oh,
that
that's
sounds
yeah.
delicious.
It was so
And
good.
a Cornish
And she
hen.
ain't bring me none.
Baby, you want me to make you some?
Mm-mm.
Spicy though.
Yeah.
Nobody got time for you. I put some red
I
pepper.
need that bento now.
Not
That's
red
why I
peppers.
eating
That's
that
not
bento.
spicy. That's not spicy. Put habanero peppers.
Okay.
Not no red peppers.
Keisha, we appreciate you, friend. You always are giving us your time. Sick, well, whatever you have, you are always giving us your time. Aaron dropped gems like nobody's business
I just
today.
love him.
Listen, we
I just love him.
appreciate you. We see you. Keep doing your thing, ma'am. Keep doing your
Thank you,
thing.
Fred. Thank you. I'm gonna let y'all go because I want to go cook my pork chop, friend. I'm gonna be up for a minute.
I'm off
I don't want
tomorrow.
you to leave. I don't want you to leave the house though. It's too late.
I'm probably not gonna come out. You know the bad people outside and I'm inside, so
Mm.
Okay.
I'm marked safe for the night.
Okay. Great.
Good night, everyone. Love
Good
Bye,
y'all.
night, y'all.
guys. Thank you guys for coming on, and make sure y'all are following everybody on the panel. Please, you guys, take one moment to click on everybody's picture and hit follow for me. Do me that one last thing, y'all.
Like Nurse
And then
Nikki.
for everybody who is interested in Amble, y'all know the links are always in my bio. If you have a loved one who is struggling with obesity, they need help with inflammatory issues, they have fatty liver, cardiovascular disease, diabetes especially, pre-diabetics especially, sleep apnea, migraines, y'all, all of the things. Please let them know that they need to talk with their clinicians about possibly adding GLP-1s to their regimens. Talk with their clinicians first before you even decide to even go with Amble. Your clinician has to know this is something that you are thinking about doing. But I love you guys, and we will talk tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.